So, ladies and gentlemen, we are down here with our top 16 drivers. And it looks like these guys are fired up and ready for action as they get out of their cars. Teesside Autodrome, make some noise for top 16! These guys put on a real show and real driving hard this weekend. So first up, your top qualifier. This guy looking really strong, coming on a drive from round one. Give it up for Martin Richards, ladies and gentlemen. This guy unstoppable right now. Looking very, very strong, cool, calm and collected. Give it up for Brett Perry, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most handsome men on the grid, supporting VP Racing Fuels all the way from Wales. Give it up for Oliver Evans. Representing Midnight Motorsport, Garage D. This guy usually throws people out of nightclubs, but he's thrown Matt Carr off the grid right now. Give it up for Lee Barker. Mr. Quiet, but with the angry car. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Driftworks, Richard Grimrod. Another handsome chap with a very handsome looking car. Give it up for the Smoke Machine, Paul Smokey Smith. The dark horse from Team Slide Motorsport. Give it up for Jason Clark, ladies and gentlemen. Normally these guys are tyre slayers, but Adam Simmons is an engine killer this week. Give it up for Adam Simmons, Slide Motorsport. All the way from Northern Ireland and the Pro-Am Slayer. Give it up for Ryan Caldwell. Another Northern Irish man that's unstoppable so far in 2018. Give it up for the Northern Smoke Machine, Dwayne McKeever. Up next, a guy that looks like he's been rallycross in this immaculate Quinn M Sport 180 SX. Give it up for Kevin Quinn. Representing the Team Hell Performance. Give it up for Ollie Elmore, ladies and gentlemen. The most polite and tallest man on the grid. Give it up for Matt Denham, ladies and gentlemen. Representing Team Jap Speed and Maxxis Tyres. Picking up a brand new sponsor this week, and the boss from Slide Motorsport. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Matt Stevenson. Oh, an aggression at the back of the grid already. These guys are looking angry. Looking cool, calm and collected though right now. The Smoke Machine, Aramis Vascalis, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, big response there for Vascalis, but last but by no means least, this man, a veteran in UK drifting. Nothing can hold him down this weekend. Give it up for Simon Perry, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our top 16, but before these guys get in these cars, make some noise and go door to door and hard and fast, I want everybody here at Teesside Autodrome, get on your feet. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, everybody stand up here at Teesside Autodrome. Get on your feet and make some noise, ladies and gentlemen, for your top 16. Come on, we can do better than that, Teesside Autodrome. I need you to scream at the top of your voices and clap as hard as you can before these guys go. Teesside, make some noise for top 16! Yeah, that's more like it. That leaves just one more job left to do. Guys, get in your cars. It's time for... Start your engines and make some noise! Guys, track. You in the tent ready?
So there you have it. Thank you, Ian. You can see our top 16 drivers are ready to go. They have fresh rubber on those wheels and they are going to head back into the pits. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on there? No. Don't put on the headset. Do not put on the headset.
How are you, champ?
Oh,
be nice, be nice. Look, I know it's all friendly and honest, but just for a couple of minutes.
Can I just...
Go on.
Can I just cut across?
I look good, don't I? I look good.
Yeah, but
I look better than you. Go on.
I realise where I recognise you from.
Go on.
Season 2 of The Undateables.
Listen, let me tell you something. The last thing
Season
I am...
2 of The Undateables.
The last thing I am is undateable.
You couldn't even get a date.
Look, let's stop being mean. We're both men. We're different calibers of men. I'm a lot more your average 6 foot muscular and you're more hobbit style. But don't worry about that. For the sake of this, let's just crack on. And look, let's put our differences aside. Let's talk about this. Look at the people. Look at the people people. That's what it's about. It's not about you.
Look,
I'm
I'm prepared to give you a chance.
Yeah.
For the sport.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny that you say. It's funny that you say, "Give me a chance for the sport," because you hide away here in the tower. I've been up there with the people, live in living colour, getting to know them, shaking hands, taking pictures. You just hide away in here, checking your Tinder messages, which you've got none, by the way, because you can't get a girlfriend to save your life. And I'm out there with the people, making it real. And it's been an absolute.
I'll have you know, it's a completely different story up here.
Is that
This
right?
is where the professionals are,
Is
and
that
there's a reason why you're not up here.
And why is that?
Because you don't have what it takes
You know what?
to roll with the big boys.
I'm going to rise above it, which is not hard to do with you, but I'm going to rise above the hate, and I'm going to respectfully say I think you do a great job. I think what you and Ian do is great. Ian's, obviously, he leads the pack and you follow a second, but you guys do a great job. And I think here at the BDC Round 2, what an extravaganza of drifting action. Let's agree on that. We can't agree on anything else.
It has been phenomenal here this weekend.
I can't wait. The last 16 are coming down. We've got the fans are out. We've got the best drifting I've seen since the summer of '73. If I'm honest with you,
I will say you do appear to be learning a little bit about the sport, which is good.
I'm picking up the pieces as I go along, but it looks like the main man. Ian, are you coming to take back over? Come on over, champ. I'm glad we had this little moment, Edward. This is just for you. I just came to have a little chat. Sorry, I need to spin out things here. This is for you. Yeah, we are cool. I've been handing over for you. You come.
Get out, get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
No worries.
Dave, we need to have words, mate.
Nathan Black, ladies and gentlemen.
Look, come on. That's part of the high five. Come on, give me some. Ian. High five. Edward, you do a good job. I'll see you later.
Wow, some guy. Can't even leave my seat for 2 minutes.
No, but look, I think that's pretty much the last we're going to see of him here this weekend, and possibly the last we'll see of him for the rest of the year, because I was talking to Dave Egan earlier on, and between you and me, I think he's getting fired.
Oh, wow. Well, Eddie, we have got one thing over him. Like we said earlier on, we've got something over him, haven't we?
We do.
Yeah, we're going to Poland next weekend, and he's not coming.
Yeah, I'll be taking over his role and showing people how it's really done.
Yeah.
How to be a real pit reporter. And as you can see him sulking on the steps of our tower. And we got to move it on, though. Important stuff here. You just introduced them, the top 16 drivers, the drivers who have battled hard and put on the biggest show all weekend. They are here for round 2 of the British Drift Championship, live from Teesside Autodrome. We are good.
In first place, coming in second on the podium.
And it looks like the drivers, Ian, are ready to go. We're ready to go. Are you guys in attendance ready to go? Are you ready for the top 16? The crowd are ready. The drivers are ready. All that leaves is for our Marshal Malks to give the go-ahead. Track is clear. We are go.
So here we go. First battle of top 16 underway. Martin Richards to lead in Brett Perry for a place in the Great 8. And look at this big separation already. But Brett Perry catches back up again. Eddie, look at this though. Richards on the accelerator.
A lot of straight lining there from Brett Perry as he tries to get back in the fight here, but now he brings that angle and brings the proximity as he throws it down onto the door of Martin Richards, who's laying down a solid lead line. Big dive here though from Brett Perry as he tries to force the mistake from the Driftworks driver as they cross the line. Guys, give it up for Martin Richards and Brett Perry.
Yeah, look at this as we go to that Samco Sport replay. As you say, Eddie, look at this, a big straight line there, has to reinitiate, does Brett Perry. Martin Richards looking very strong out front. Good lead line as he comes down from clipping point 3. Guy looking unstoppable this weekend. Absolutely got it dialed. Brett Perry starts to gain some proximity, but that big error in the beginning of the run, not going to be looking good for his score. So we get those guys back on the line, swap back around.
Yeah, Brett Perry now, his role is to try and replicate the lead run that Martin Richards put in. Essentially what they're looking for here is a 100-point qualifying run, and Richards then in the lead position tried to mirror that as best he can and keep a steady proximity throughout the circuit, try and be as aggressive as possible. Of course, easier to pick up those points in that chase position. What are we going to see here? Perry brought that proximity through the end of the circuit on the first run. As they leave the line down the stretch, they come side by side. And big aggression here. Oh, and again, another little waver from Perry as he struggles through that first section of the course. But Martin Richards right on the door, not giving an inch.
Yeah, no, not giving Brett Perry an inch at all. And as you say, Brett Perry making that error on initiation again. Look at this. Martin Richards pushes nice and close, almost contact as they come through that second hairpin, door to door, a little wobble from both guys, but they bring it across the line. Teesside makes some noise.
Yeah, textbook chasing there from Martin Richards, and looking very comfortable out on this circuit at the moment.
So again, here we go, double replay for you guys, and you can just see the proximity Martin Richards has on Brett Perry there as he chases him down. And unfortunately, Brett Perry not being able to match that proximity in his chase run. So Martin Richards overall looking the stronger driver, Eddie.
Yeah, certainly showing why he sits second in the championship at the moment, and why he qualified in first position, not to forget as well.
So it does look like the judges have a score. And we are waiting for those to drop in. A left for Perry, right for Richards. Who's going to take it through to the grade 8?
Kieran goes Richards. David goes Richards, and so does Ben. Judges, talk us through the decision there. Martin Richards doing enough to take it through to the grade 8.
Yeah, that's right, Eddie. Martin Richards there, his chase run was absolutely textbook. There's nothing you could fault him on with there. But in the when he was following Brett had a straighten, and we gave it a 7-3, but couldn't overturn that, so it's a 7-3.
So there you go. Martin Richards doing everything he needed to do there to overturn that and take the win and get into the grade 8. We move it along. Oliver Evans now sits on the line, taking on Lee Barker. Barker
taking down the 2017 champion. So Ollie Evans could be up against it here, but this is the moment I have been waiting for all weekend, seeing Oliver Evans come out on track in twin action, and he has been, very aggressive in twin practice.
Yeah,
already.
We watched him in practice earlier on.
This is where he really comes into his own.
Yeah, he was going door and door with drivers earlier on in practice, and that was just practice, not competition. It didn't have any effect, but now it does. As he takes on Lee Barker, they're off the line.
Yeah, the lead car through the chicane just to keep him at a minimal pace and give that chase driver. Look at this
Lee
from
Barker. Wow!
All over the door, but Barker makes a slight error. Needs to make an adjustment on the bank, but tries to get that proximity back and throws it on the door again.
Yeah, Lee Barker right with Oliver Evans. Look at this from Lee Barker. What has he had for breakfast? This is unbelievable. Barker, almost contact. Small error from Barker as they bring it across the line. Give it up for Lee Barker and Oliver Evans. Wow. Oliver Evans and Lee Barker going toe-to-toe right now. Look at this on the replay, Eddie.
Yeah, Oliver Evans has a fight on his hands big time here as we go to the Samco Sport replay to review the first half of this battle. Barker showing serious aggression in.
Yeah, unbelievable aggression. Like I say, small error as they come through the final hairpin. It looked like he had a straighten to try and get back on the door, but apart from that, absolutely brilliant chase driving from Lee Barker. So just got the wrong replay playing there for you guys, as you can see.
Yeah, just showing the first battle from the top 16 where we saw textbook chase driving from Martin Richards, but of course it's the Lee Barker versus Oliver Evans run that we are looking for.
So we're just going to try and get that right replay up.
So, apologies for the technical difficulties that we're experiencing.
Here we go. Look at this textbook chase lead run though from Oliver Evans, nice and high on the bank. A little wobble there.
Do you know what? Barker drops a wheel there. He drops a wheel, and that's what causes that problem for him. But you know what? After that, gets right back in it, stays on the door of Oliver Evans. Oliver Evans doing a really good job in lead position. Look at that
transition. It was here that he made the error again, though. Look, a little bit of a straighten that to couch kick it and try and get back in it.
Showing just that, not able to control that aggression to the right degree. And a couple of errors there for Barker, but certainly keeping himself in the fight there, with maintaining very close proximity the entire way around the circuit.
Yep, so we're going to swap them around. It will be Lee Barker's chance now to lead in Oliver Evans. Oliver Evans now for that very aggressive chase driving. Can he tame it down a little bit and not knock himself out of the fight? And we are ready to go, I do believe. Thumbs up from the drivers. They're ready to go. Teesside, you ready to go? There's a few cheers. They're cold, Eddie. Yeah. Things are heating up.
Things are heating up. Look at this, Oliver Evans all over the door of Lee Barker.
Oh, and separation. Barker stands on the acceleration. Ollie Evans has no answer, Eddie. Starts to make up the lost ground, but he really needs to get on the door now if he's going to try and overturn this.
Yeah, needs to bring the fight here. And getting a little bit caught in the chase position there as they go to transition. And Ollie Evans having to back out a little bit. I'm wondering though, was Barker just a little bit off that second clipping zone as they came on the bank? A little bit shallow, but certainly a very strong run overall from him.
So we've got the side-by-side Samco Sport replay here, and we're going to have a good look.
Yeah, you can just see it looks as though Oliver Evans had just a slightly better lead run, but does have those errors as well in the chase position, getting caught. A tight one here. I imagine there won't be a whole lot between the two when the judges make their final call on this one.
No, this is going to be very, very close. So judges looking over and over. It looks like they do have a decision. No scores are getting inputted to the system.
Yeah, just putting their final deliberations and arguments forward on this one. And from what I can hear, Ian, this one is very close.
Yeah, very close. We've got some Oliver Evans fans in the house. Where's my Lee Barker fans in the house? Who wants to see him go one more time? Mediocre, Eddie. A few of them do. A few of them want to go home.
A few of our fans showing a little bit of enthusiasm. A few of them need to maybe get their act together just a little bit.
Wow. Whoa. Strong words there from Eddie Bauer.
You know what? You don't make it all this way to watch it, you know, live, and it's all in front of you, all the actions in front of you, and not be prepared to make a little bit of noise. But we got a decision from our judges. It's going to come live onto the screen. Who's going through? Is it going to be Oliver Evans? Is it going to be Lee Barker?
Wow, they're still deliberating, Eddie. Jumping the gun there, thinking that they're putting in a score, but they aren't. They're just talking about it still. Kieran Hines, hands on head. David Egan putting up an argument.
Yeah, and of course we can't hear exactly what they're saying in our headsets. We can only just about overhear their mumbling. So, as we say, they take all of these decisions very seriously, from top 24, from qualifying all the way through then to the battles, and they deliberate over it, put their arguments forward. You can see obviously a lot going on in this battle that these judges need to weigh up.
Yeah, and obviously the winner of this battle will go through to battle Martin Richards in the Grade 8 for a place in the Final Four. And look at this, looking at the replay one more time again.
Yeah, the Samco Sport replay on your screen, and of course on the big monitor here if you're in attendance.
So judges just going over this footage one more time, and obviously, Eddie, the benefit of having our live feed here, we now have the replays that we can go back over, have a look, see, and put these decisions in concrete. And judges definitely writing something down now, so it definitely looks like we have a decision. So, who's it going to be? Who's going to take it through to the Grade 8 to battle Martin Richards? Is it going to be Lee Barker? Is it going to be Oliver Evans? Is it going to be a one more time? Kieran Hines, David Egan, Ben Manuel, Kieran, David, Ben. It's unanimous. It's a one more time, ladies and gentlemen. So one more time. Dave, we've got to come back to you. A tough decision there.
Yeah, we had a good deliberation about that, and it's kind of a lot of mistakes in both runs. While there's a bit of exciting driving in there, Barker's very aggressive in the chase position, surprisingly so, really, really brave, but he makes some mistakes too. He's sort of on too much angle on the bank, and then he straightens up towards the last hairpin. And Evans has a very good lead at the same time. Switched him around. Barker's got huge pace. Evans can't deal with it. He can't catch him. So he's not got the same proximity, but then he comes in and starts to make the dive through the hairpin. He sort of gets caught on angle and loses a bit more proximity, but he's less messy than Barker's lead run. So it's, you know, 6 of one, half dozen of the other. I'd go one more time. We want some clean runs here. There's just far too many mistakes there to reward someone with a win, I think.
So there we go, too many mistakes from both those guys. Couldn't be overturned, having to go one more time. So we're going to go back to the start line. I do believe those guys are ready to go. Or do we move to the next battle? We are just about to find out.
Yeah, of course, we have no direct view of the start line ourselves here, so a little bit in the dark as to whether or not those guys need to change tires or whether or not they're ready to go straight back in to competitive action.
So it does look like, Eddie, they are ready to go again. No change of tyres, no fuels needed. They are strapping themselves back in and going at it one more time.
Yeah, both drivers just jumping back, straight back into the car, and we are going to be going live down to the start line once they are ready. You can see Lee Barker just probably has the spotters in the ear, just giving him a little bit of advice, and they're taking their time, just getting back to that start line, just composing themselves again, and they'll know that both of them had those couple of errors in over the 2 runs. Some good driving though, nonetheless, and particularly in the chase position, both drivers showing a lot of aggression.
A lot of aggression, you know, and this is the Lee Barker that we've been waiting to see. We've seen him before in competition, but it's been a while since he's really come out of his shell and really proven himself in his pro competition. We know Oliver Evans is a very, very strong competitor. We know he's aggressive, knocked himself out of competition before. But again, waiting for Oliver Evans to really just shine and get himself into that podium position.
We know Evans has the ability to beat anybody on his day, and it's a matter of him showing that he now is learning to control his aggression, because that's what will make the difference between him being a really good driver and a really great driver. They leave the line. Evans through the chicane. Barker to give chase. Down the stretch. Big weight transfer entry, and Barker goes straight onto the door of Evans, right from the off as they take it nice and high on the bank.
Whoa, look at this! Wow!
Door to door!
Lee Barker bringing serious aggression as he pushes Oliver Evans through clipping point 3. Big transition back, the bumper dragging now as Lee Barker goes door to door, tagging the wheel as they come across the line. Teesside, give him a round of applause. Lee Barker and Oliver Evans.
If that didn't wake up our audience, nothing will. What about that?
Look at this.
Contact, bumper to bumper, sheer aggression. Look at this, wheel to wheel as they come around the bank. Incredible stuff from Lee Barker. And you know what? Ollie Evans has a fight on his hands. And I'm not a judge, Ian, but I think Lee Barker has a huge advantage here.
Yeah, I mean, a huge advantage right now. And listen, I mean, if he pulls any kind of ground away from Oliver Evans like he did in the first battle, it's good night for Evans in my eyes, because that is a huge chase run there from Lee Barker. Oliver Evans really now needs to pull up his socks
if you're Oliver
and
Evans,
stick it on the door.
Spotter, what are you saying to him right now?
Oh, you're saying to him, listen, mate, glue it on the door. Don't give him an inch. And you need to just be on that guy, because if you give him an inch to move, he's going to walk away with it like he did in the first half of the battle.
Yeah, the reg plate on the back says crack on, and that's exactly what Oliver Evans needs to do as they leave the line. Barker to lead them in for the second half of this one more time battle. Evans to give chase, side by side down the straight now. Evans tucks in, big dive onto the door, but look at this. Barker looks like he has the pace. Evans tucks in, but doesn't have the same proximity. He needs to bring the fight here at the VP Racing Fields S14. Lee Barker is a man on a mission right now.
Oliver Evans starts to push on the door and pushes Lee Barker across the line. Teesside, make some noise for Lee Barker and Oliver Evans.
It is starting to heat up here.
I mean, listen, the first battle was hard to judge. The second battle was even harder. The only thing for me was the initiation from Barker. He pulled such a good bit of ground coming into clipping point 2, and it took Oliver Evans all the way to clipping point 4 now, where he starts to make the dive. But look at that, it's a kind of a straightened transition. Oliver Evans, you know what, for me, not looking good.
No, I'm inclined to agree with you there. I think Lee Barker is the new dark horse here, because he is just looking unstoppable right now. Judges have a decision, left for Barker, right for Evans. Who's going through? Kieran Hines goes. Lee Barker, David Eaton goes. Lee Barker, Ben Manuel goes. Lee Barker. Lee Barker's going through to the Grade 8. Oliver Evans is going home. Give them a round of applause. Judges, we got to go back to you. What about that? No separating on the first one, but Lee Barker going through to the Grade 8.
Yeah, Lee Barker put it all on the line there. We expected a big collision, and he actually somehow, I don't even know if he knows, held it. One of the best chase runs I've ever seen on this track. And with that on the board and a 7-3 advantage, Evans is a great lead, and he also gets pushed a little bit but doesn't waver too much, so he ignored a little bit of a wide line on clips 3 to 4. But when he turns around, the pressure was on Evans then to put in something sensational, and just on the day, Barker pulled out something miraculous, and there's no, like, any driver on the grid would find it tough to come back from a chase run like that, and he took the win.
So there you go.
Tell you what, Martin Richards is going to be a little bit nervous about the prospects of coming up against Lee Barker, because guess what? He's taking down the 2017 champion. Now he's taking down one of the hottest properties in the sport right now, Oliver Evans. But we move it on to our next battle, which will see Richard Grinrod taking on Paul Smokey Smith. Team Driftworks versus Team Japspeed. And a space in the Grade 8 awaits the winner.
Yeah, both these guys, veterans in UK drifting, battled many times before. Grinrod, very fast around this circuit. We see him in qualifying. That car just seems to get up and go. Can Smokey Smith find some grip in the Max's tyres to stick it on the door? Well, they get the thumbs up from our start line marshal. They are ready to go. Who's going to take the spot in Grade 8? It's Richard Grinrod to lead out Paul Smith.
Yeah, Grinrod with the lead. Oh, contact already. It looks as though, or maybe that was just a debris from earlier, but look at this from Smokey Smith, right on the door, glued to that E36 of Richard Grinrod as they throw it into the slowing section of the circuit. There is no shaking.
Look at that.
Smith as he transitions beautifully in that GT86, side by side, door to door, wheel to wheel as they cross the line. Teesside. Wow. What about that?
Look at this from Paul Smokey Smith, absolutely perfect. Waits for Grinrod to get settled, gets on the door and just absolutely glues it there all the way around. Perfect lead and chase all the way into clipping point 4. And the transition, look at this. Good job the front of that car's only little, Eddie, otherwise he would have took it off. Gets back on the door again and then squeezes one more time as he pushes across the line. Unbelievable chase driving.
I mean, it just gets better and better each run out on track. These guys coming to play here this weekend, all for your entertainment and stepping up big time. This is huge. The entertainment factor is phenomenal. Who's going to take it through? Smokey Smith to lead them in this time around. Grinrod to give chase. It looks as though we are almost ready to send them. Grinrod closes his door. Visors down. Cars in gear. Accelerator pressed. They leave the line. Slamming through the gears.
Whoa, wow.
Big dive from the inside from Richard Grinrod, but loses ground. Can he bring it back now?
Yeah, Grinrod really needs to pull it out of the bag now if he's going to try and overturn Paul Smokey Smith's chase. And Grinrod starts to make the dive, trying to put it on the door, but he's getting himself in an awkward position now, Eddie, as Paul Smokey Smith sticks it on that qualifying line, takes it across. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for Smokey Smith.
Yeah, Grinrod able to bring that proximity just towards the end, but I think, you know, that chase run that Paul Smith put in on the first run, as you see them here side by side on your screens.
If it wasn't for that initiation for Grinrod, I think he could have had the proximity against Paul Smokey Smith, but unfortunately, that initiation just ever so slightly messed him up.
So you can see both drivers with similar proximity towards the end of the circuit, but the big difference is that Smith able to keep that proximity throughout the run.
Yep, so it does look like our judges have a decision. Scores are in. Who's it going to be? Paul Smith or Richard Grinrod? And Kieran, David, Ben, make it unanimous. Paul Smith takes the win and goes through to the Grade 8. Judges, we come back to you. A quick word.
Yeah, Richard, in the lead position, had a really, really good line, good qualifying one, which of course makes it easier for Paul. Paul is on his door all the way, matching throughout, so good mirroring there. But the only fault I can come with there on Paul is that he had slightly less angle in places. So, you know, for me, it was a 6-4, basically because of Paul's slightly less angle and with Richard such a great lead run. So 6-4 advantage to Paul in the first one. The second one, Richard does a big dive between 1 and 2, trying to get, you know, really aggressive, trying to get on his door, and he has to back out of it slightly to stop contact, and, you know, he's trying to catch up from there on. He does get proximity near the end again, but only enough to bring it back to a 5-5. So it's just based on the first run, Paul takes it.
So there we go, Paul Smokey Smith taking the win, Eddie, and moving through to the Grade 8. But who will he battle? Will it be Jason Clark or Adam Simmons? We're not going to find out just yet, because Adam Simmons has called a 5-minute rule.
Any idea why?
So Adam Simmons has called a 5-minute rule. No reasoning why from Adam Simmons' team or Slide Motorsport, as it would be as of now. So we are going to move it along to the next battle, which is a big one, Eddie.
And what's interesting on that one is that normally the man that would be first underneath Adam Simmons' car would be Jason Clark.
I bet you any money now. Jason Clark is fixing Adam Simmons' car for him. So we're going to move it along to the next battle. Dwayne McKeever to take on Ryan Caldwell. The Battle of Northern Ireland, Eddie.
Yeah, I don't think anybody needs to be told how huge this battle is. The young gun, Ryan Caldwell, an up-and-coming rising star in the sport, looking to make a name for him. He already has a name, but he is here in the pro competition, and he is taking on one of the best in the business. Not just in Ireland, not just in England, one of the best drivers in the world. Dwayne McKeever has almost 10 years experience under his belt. He's a two-time IDC champion. He is looking to take home the British Drift Championship title this year. He is undefeated in Ireland and England in 2018. He is undefeated in the UK, period.
Yeah, but what you got to consider is right now, can Ryan Caldwell take him down? If Ryan Caldwell takes down Dwayne McKeever, that opens the door for Richards to take the championship at round 2. So big things could happen right now, and a lot of pressure on Ryan Caldwell's shoulders. They're off the line. McKeever to lead in Ryan Caldwell for a spot in Grade 8. Banging through the gears, Eddie. Look at Ryan Caldwell all over the back end of that Tri-Ace tyres, 180. Look at this, Caldwell gets lost in that Tri-Ace tyre smokers. Dwayne McKeever stands on it.
Yeah, Caldwell looking to bring the fight, but just struggling with the pace of McKeever, who just keeps that car pinned so well all the way around the circuit. Now Caldwell brings the fight, they go door to door. Look at this, wheel to wheel, they almost make contact. And how Caldwell doesn't get lost in the smoke is phenomenal. Guys, give him a big cheer. McKeever and Caldwell as we go to the Samco Sport replay. Look at this, sheer aggression, but then loses some ground, Dean.
Yeah, just can't keep up with the pace of that Tri-Ace tyres car. Look at this. But look, makes a dive coming through clipping point 3. Still stays online, gets back on the door.
McKeever's line isn't perfect either.
It isn't absolutely perfect. So look at this, again, Caldwell makes a dive. Big angle transition there from McKeever. Not usually see that sort of driving. Not making those errors, you know, so not a good place for McKeever right now, but Caldwell doing everything he can in my eyes.
Yeah, I think that one, you know, probably hangs in the balance. Maybe a 5-5 or a 6-4 one way or the other. Judge is looking to take a second look at this one. Just paying particular attention to what's happened on entry here. But look at this. Big weight transfer there. Straight line entry from Caldwell in the chase position.
Look at that. Dwayne McKeever handbrakes after clipping point 1. And exactly what we said earlier, it's an acceleration zone. So drivers not expected to be slowing in that area. Yeah, so yeah, like you say, Eddie, as a result, Dwayne McKeever missing that clip, but it forces Ryan Caldwell to back out of it ever so slightly, not having that proximity. You guys in attendance, you look at the big screen, you guys watching at home, watch Dwayne McKeever's rear wheel after clipping point 1, handbrake. Straight away, it slows the car down, so he is going to be heavily penalised for that.
So could we see the young gun Caldwell become the giant killer and take it through to the Grade 8? Who knows?
And upset the championship right now. Give Martin Richards the ammunition he needs to go forward and try and win this championship. So, yeah, big handbrake as well from McKeever. So, does it look like we are going to head to the start line, potentially? So, judges want to see a different angle of the slowing from McKeever. So judges really going at this one, Eddie, and not an easy decision to be made. And like we say, you know, Dwayne McKeever currently undefeated, UK and Ireland. This could have a big effect on his championship.
Yeah, this could have a huge effect on his championship. But of course, Martin Richards will be looking at this saying, you know what, I'm in the Grade 8. Opportunity to really claw back some points here and maybe take a lead in the championship after
He's
round
already
2.
qualified first, so he takes home maximum qualification points, does Martin Richards. Yeah, I mean, for him now to progress through, getting the final 4 alone would probably give him nearly enough points to try and overturn what he had on Dwayne McKeever. So Martin Richards in a very strong position now. Judges.
Well, I think if Dwayne McKeever goes out of top 16, Martin Richards is almost certainly going to be ahead of him regardless at this point.
So that means it all comes down to Driftland. Look at this, an alternative angle. Look at the handbrake from McKeever. As you could see, yeah, Ryan Caldwell completely affected by that handbrake from Dwayne McKeever. And then runs a shallow angle to try and gain that proximity.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to hear the judges' take on this one. And of course, we still have the second half of this battle to go. And could it be that Caldwell has managed to force an error and got inside the head of a two-time former champion?
So, as well, listen, Dwayne McKeever driving with a broken car. We found out in the break what exactly had happened. He smashed third gear in the gearbox. He took the diff from Mike Walton's car. So now this car is geared to just run in second gear. So he's driving this car all in second gear. So we are ready to go. Second half of the battle. Ryan Caldwell to lead out Dwayne McKeever. Place in the Grade 8 awaits. McKeever fires it in behind Caldwell, absolutely trying to glue it to the door. Look at this from McKeever. Sticks it to the Quinn's M-Sport S15 and they go door to door. But Ryan Caldwell absolutely on fire as he fires that car into minute point 4. McKeever all over him as he transitions through the smoke. McKeever pushing the young gun all the way to Clipping Point 6 and have got to line. Teesside, give it up for Dwayne McKeever and Ryan Caldwell.
That's a Dwayne McKeever that knew he was up against it there, knew he had to pull something really impressive out of the bag here.
Do you know what, for me, Ryan Caldwell absolutely just held his own though. Look at this, Eddie, perfect lead run, absolutely high up on the bank, really, really good line. McKeever was glued to him the whole way around, but he didn't waver, he didn't fall, he stuck to his guns. Good transition through 5, nice transition around that. Look how wide he is coming into Clipping Point 6, stays all the way out, door to door with McKeever across the line. Perfect lead run for me, for Ryan Caldwell. Ladies and gentlemen, they're out of the car, they can hear you. Give them a round of applause. Dwayne McKeever and Ryan Caldwell, those guys putting it all on the line. And look at Dwayne McKeever holding up Ryan Caldwell's hand. It's like he knows the decision is in. Who's it going to be? Slide them left for Caldwell, right for McKeever. Who takes it home and goes through to the Grade 8? Oh, it's a one more time, ladies and gentlemen. A one more time. Eddie, shock news right there. Dave Egan, we need to come to you for a quick breakdown of that one.
Yeah, okay, so obviously we had a good dissection there of everything that happened. Now, let's look at Dwayne's chase run. Let's reverse it here. Dwayne's chase run is fantastic. He's got an advantage, 7-3, really good chase run around the whole track. However, watch the initiation from Caldwell. He's on the speed, he's fast, he's not handbraking on the initiation. He gives Dwayne every opportunity to get on the door and make himself look good in the chase position. Switch it back to the first run. Dwayne McKeever weight transfers, but he actually goes on the handbrake after clip 1, which we did say is a mistake you shouldn't do. Now, he's not slowing dramatically, but it's still an error, and I think it catches Ryan Caldwell off thinking he's going to hit him. He backs out. So essentially, Ryan Caldwell isn't given the opportunity to go on Dwayne's door because he has to slow excessively, because Dwayne slows excessively, and then everything after that, all that lost proximity, is sort of a result of that. So even though he gets back on the door for the rest of the infield, I still think Dwayne didn't give Caldwell enough of a shot to come in heavy, especially against your current champion. He'd be expecting to come in on full speed, pin him around the bank. Dwayne made an error there. Not enough of an error to completely wipe the battle because Caldwell gets back in and then Dwayne does redeem himself completely in the second run. But we believe the fair call is a one more time and let them come in clean on both runs and see who's the better chase and lead driver on the second time around.
So there we go. The judge is going to be looking for a clean run. So we are going to go to the Battle of Slide Motorsport, Eddie.
Yes, Jason Clark versus Adam Simmons. And
yeah, Adam Simmons, and now it looks like he's got that car fixed, bonnet off, but Jason Clark, the higher qualifier, looking very, very strong, but Simmons' chase driving been on form. Thumbs up from Simmons, thumbs up from Clark. Who's going to take it? Slide Motorsport will be in the Grade 8, Eddie, either way, but who will it be? Will it be the Dark Horse, your favourite? We're about to find out off the line. Jason Clark, Taxicone.
Yeah, the great thing about two teammates coming out on tracks together is that they won't be afraid to bang doors, and they will be out to, oh, with a wheel drop there from Jason Clark. And Simmons needs to get back into this one though because he's losing a lot of ground here. But Jason Clark getting a little bit out of shape, dropping a couple of wheels again.
Yeah, Jason Clark not looking strong there. Drops a couple of wheels, gets back in it. Simmons. Good chase. Very strange. Not sure what happened there from Jason Clark. Jason Clark just overcooks it, yeah. And then Adam Simmons follows his line in. He has to drop a wheel, and then
just a lot of angle onto the car. Then
he backs out of it massively, and that's why Simmons doesn't have that proximity. He tries to claw it back in, but it's kind of all lost after that first turn, dropping clipping point 2. So
yeah, a little bit of a scrappy affair from Team Slide Motorsport as they return to the line and switch it around. You just see them having a good chat to each other across the track, and Simmons will now go into the lead position. Clark to give chase, and we're looking for a little bit of a tighter run from these two guys on the second half of this battle. Marshall gives the orders. They are go. Simmons through the chicane. Clark guns it down the straight. Here we go, side by side. Big weight transfer entry from Adam Simmons as Clark looks for the door.
Yeah, Clark looks for the door, Eddie, but backs out of it. Now starts to gain that proximity, just giving Simmons some room to manoeuvre.
Yeah, Simmons on a
wide,
very wide line as Jason Clark starts to pull it back, dives onto the door, into the final hairpin. And you can almost lose.
Whoa, an almost contact as they come across the line.
Jason Clark almost getting lost in the smoke there, but as we see the
Good
replay
dive from Clark on initiation, like you say, Eddie, but he backs out of it and gives Simmons the room to get that car set up, then starts to gain that proximity. But Simmons very, very wide there, actually runs the white line on the very, very edge of the circuit there.
Yeah, I think just getting too wide, unfortunately, for him, and just allows Clark just that opportunity to dive into that door that was opened and gain that proximity and keep that through the remainder of the circuit. So if I'm not mistaken, it looks as though we do have a judge's decision. Slide them left for Simmons, slide them right for Clark. Kieran, David and Ben all in favour of Jason Clark, your winner, and going into the Grade 8. We go back to the judges for an explanation on that one. Two guys giving it lots.
Yeah, so Jason put a fantastic lead run in, which gave Adam all the opportunity, but he kind of made a dive, then lost it, then had to, go back into it again. So we gave Jason the advantage at a 6-4, and then on the lead run with Adam out front, Jason had better proximity. Adam ran wide from clip 3, which gave Jason all the opportunity to gather it up, keep the proximity. So again, we went 6-4 in favour of Jason taking the win.
So there you go, Jason Clark, the dark horse, takes the win and moves through to the Grade 8, where he will be battling Paul Smith. So we move it along to our one more time. Oh no, those guys are not ready. We move along to the next battle in line, which will be Kevin Quinn to take on Ollie Elmore. And like I said earlier, Eddie, looks like Kevin Quinn took his car rallycross earlier.
Yeah, it certainly does. Kevin Quinn, not known for, being
spills,
tame.
Being tame or being kind to his car.
There he
Thumbs
is.
up from Kevin Quinn.
The owner at Quinn M Sport, taking on Ollie Elmore, who had to battle his way through and took down Martin Wanacott in a very impressive battle.
So they are off. It is Kevin Quinn to lead in Ollie Elmore as Quinn fires that car in. Elmore. Oh, Elmore with big aggression, almost overcooks it, has to back out of it massively. Quinn stays in it on a very good lead line. Ollie Elmore now desperately trying to catch up with Kevin Quinn as Kevin Quinn stands on the accelerator and fires that Jay-Z.
Ollie Elmore looking to stick it to the door of Kevin Quinn and just had to back out of it to avoid making contact in that first corner. And from that point on, it's
very good aggression there from Elmore. Look at that.
If
he could have stayed in that would have been an unbelievable chase from Ollie Elmore.
Yeah, from there on in though, Kevin Quinn just sails into the distance. Elmore does pull back some of that ground just towards the end as Quinn does a big angle there as well, Ian.
Look at the smoke that Kevin Quinn's car makes, unbelievable.
So we just go to our Samco Sport replay once again. I'd imagine judges maybe just wanted to check.
I wonder if
there was a slowing. So you can see he's back on the power there.
Yeah.
Oh, and a second slowing from Kevin Quinn.
Listen, this issue that these guys are having, and the rules laid down by our judges are very, very strict, Eddie. And David Egan and the guys are not deviating off those rules at all. If you slow in that acceleration zone, you're going to get penalised for it. And Kevin Quinn, unfortunately, slowed that car down, which is why Ollie Elmore had to back out of it and get back off the door. So, listen, I'm no judge, but for me, I think that Kevin Quinn's kind of in the wrong here.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you. You know, it's and you know what? It's very advantageous that they have the option of the replay. Whereas a number of years ago in the sport, we didn't have live stream, and they had to just call it as
seen that stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Very hard to see when it's live, and obviously you only have literally milliseconds to catch these errors.
Yeah, exactly. So it does look like those guys are on the start line and ready to go. It will be Ollie Elmore now to lead out Kevin Quinn.
And based on what we saw in the replay, you'd have to feel that Elmore has the advantage going into this half of the battle. You can see Quinn gunning it off the line. and then just having to slow himself down a little bit. He needs to stick it to the door. Elmore here.
Yeah, Elmore gets off of that initiation very, very early though. Manages to wash up high on the bank.
Yeah,
But
Kevin Quinn on a very shallow line, but gets it on the door now. Can he stay there?
Yeah, Kevin Quinn way offline there, but judges saying a deviation offline in the chase position, it should be fine. Kevin Quinn looking scrappy, but not the best lead run from Ollie Elmore. As they take it across the line, give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know what, Eddie?
Yeah, difficult one, Ian. Neither driver.
For me personally, I'd like to see that go one more time, just to give these guys an opportunity for a nice, fast, clean battle. Because errors in both half of it. Ollie Elmore doesn't have the most perfect lead run. You can see that the way Kevin Quinn's having to really pedal that car to try and keep it on the door.
Yeah, certainly just didn't look overly smooth either way throughout the run. So you can see the drivers just having a little chat about it themselves out of their cars. Give them a round of applause, guys. Both drivers putting on a real show, looking for that space in the Grade 8. Kevin Quinn, Ollie Elmore.
Judges still talking about this one, not being able to split them. Very, very tough decision. Like I say, these guys take this very, very seriously. And like I say, for me, Eddie, personally, I think I personally would like to see it one more time.
Let's see what the audience think.
You guys want to see these two guys go at it one more time? Yeah, they do, Eddie. They agree. They agree with me.
Anybody think Kevin Quinn should go through?
Oh, no.
No.
What about Ollie Elmore? There's a few Ollie Elmore fans in the house.
Yeah. So there's 2 Ollie Elmore fans.
And
no
Kevin Quinn
fans. I'm a Kevin Quinn fan.
I know you are. So am I, secretly.
Secretly. A closet Kevin.
A closet Kevin Quinn fan.
Nasty.
You can get treatment for it, apparently. So judges are going over and over and over this, really going down to the finer details. So, Eddie?
Yeah, quick word to our sponsors. AM Details, who provide detailing products, chemicals and accessories to make your car shine above the rest. Check out their full range online now. Brian James Trailers, who are the industry leader in car transporter trailers. They offer quality, customizable trailers to suit your needs without compromise. Cosmos Racing. They offer exceptional wheels, strength, quality and style that makes them the #1 choice for street drift or track. Funk Motorsport, the UK's home of tuning heat management products, including their famous Turbo Blanket. They're also Europe's main supplier of Laminex headlight protection film. Japspeed provide reasonably priced, excellent quality parts to Japanese car enthusiasts. Check out japspeed.co.uk for the full product range and applications. JDM Distro, your #1 supplier of new and used JDM performance rims and parts. Have a drift, drag or grip machine, they have everything you need. Link ECU provide aftermarket engine management devices built in New Zealand, sold worldwide. They're also the choice for the best drivers in the world of drifting. Monster Energy, fueling BDC and supporting the craziest events worldwide. Monster Energy is a lifestyle in a can. MTech Brakes, make sure you have the stopping power to match the speed of your vehicle. Check out MTech Brakes and their full range of products.
So it does look like we have a decision, Eddie. The judges are getting their thumbs up. Sorry to cut you ever so slightly short there. So scores are going to appear on the screen. Who's going to take it? Ollie Elmore, Kevin Quinn, or one more time? Kieran Hines says Ollie Elmore. David says Ollie Elmore. Ben says Ollie Elmore, ladies and gentlemen. Ollie Elmore takes the win and knocks out Kevin Quinn. Judges, we go to you. A big debate there over that decision.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. We do a lot of talking here. But of course, we are trying to get the right call. There's a lot of similarities there with this one, with Dwayne's run. Kevin, again, he initiates, he powers through clip 1, but then he dabs on the handbrake. Not as severe as Dwayne's, but still enough, I think, to slow a little bit. And Ollie at this point catches up. And he backs out of it, has a washout. Now, the big debate is whether or not the error or the drag of the handbrake was enough to cause error. The facts are the handbrake was pulled in a full throttle area of the track. We know that for a fact. Can we be 100% sure that Ollie's wash was because of it? We can't, but we do know the facts there was a handbrake pulled. So, the fair thing here is, again, Ollie's not given the opportunity to stay on Kevin's door for the rest of the run, the separation. You know, he closes in a little bit near the end. So, look, we scored the first one 5-5, and basically would have been advantage to Ollie only for the fact that he shot down just coming up to the finish line. He should have powered through it, so we knocked a point off him for that. So that squares up the first one. In the second one, you know, Kevin has proximity at the start, but he didn't drop down off the bank and is actually down on the level tarmac off the bank through clip 2, a long way down. And he closes in again at the end, and he has proximity at the end, but it's very, very on-off. I mean, if you watch his throttle application, it's throttle on, throttle off. Cars, you know, it's not smooth. So, you know, taking those couple of errors into the case, I don't think he deserved to get an advantage for that chase. And we, all three of us, agreed it was a 6-4 to Ollie on the second one. So it was close enough, but I think over the 2 runs, I think Ollie did enough.
So there we go, Eddie Ollie-Elmore taking the win and advancing through to our Grade 8. But I do believe that we've got me mate Nathan around somewhere. Give us a wave, Nathan. Are you in somewhere?
Hello, Ian. How are you?
I'm good, mate.
Good, good. So I am out here in the audience, and I found a couple of BDC maniacs. We've got here some of the fans of the fantastic sport of drifting. And we have Andrew, we have Owen, and we have the sensational Sandro over here. Guys, how are you finding the event so far?
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah?
It's amazing.
Amazing? How are you feeling?
Awesome.
And who are you here supporting? Is there anyone in particular?
Martin Richards all the way.
Yeah. Martin.
Martin's your favourite, and he did well earlier on, and you're calling him for the win?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Now, earlier on, my arch nemesis, Edward in the tower over there, accused the audience here of not making enough noise. He was very mean. He was a little bit nasty. What do you have to say to that horrible man over there that was saying that you guys weren't enjoying, you weren't enthusiastic enough here in the audience? Ooh. Yeah, exactly. Get a hearing aid. I completely agree. And you guys, are you ready? Let's make some noise. How are we finding the BDC out here? You enjoying it?
Yeah!
And is there anyone you want to say hello to out there in the TV world?
I want to say hi to William May.
And that's William May. Hope you're watching. Now, there's only one thing better than watching the BDC from this fantastic perching spot, and that's enjoying it with a slush on behalf of the BDC. There's one for you there. These are from me and everyone at the BDC apart from Ed. And there you are. And I've got one as well. So cheers to everyone. Back to you, Ian, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
He's such a nice guy. What a nice guy.
There you go, yeah. He plays the nice guy really well, doesn't he?
He's genuine. He just bought those guys a slushie.
That's coming out of your pay packet. And my pay packet.
No, it won't be. Definitely won't
be. It is. That's what Dave says.
Well, let's move it along, Eddie. We are going to get the next battle underway. In this top 16, it will be Dwayne McKeever, Ryan Caldwell. One more time.
Now, Dwayne McKeever goes back to the line knowing that he made the mistake, slowing through that first section where he should have been on throttle. He put in an incredible chase run. Will we see Dwayne make the necessary adjustments? And if he gives that clean lead run, will we see Caldwell put it on the door?
Listen, for me, do you know what, out of this situation, I think McKeever's thinking, I've got to reconsider what I've done. But look, Caldwell's sitting in that car thinking, hey, listen, this guy's unbeaten, and I'm taking him to it one more time. That means I've got something special. They're off the line. Look at Caldwell, smoking tyres. Car's absolutely battered off the line. And look at Caldwell tagging on the back end of McKeever's tyres, 180. Caldwell right with him, nice and high on the bank. A little bit of lost ground again, Eddie, though.
Yeah, McKeever's starting to pull away here. Caldwell needs to get back on the door in that Quinn M Sport S15. And a much improved lead run here from Dwayne McKeever. Didn't appear to be any slow lead issues this time around, Ian, and I think that could be the difference maker.
Yeah, that could be the difference maker. Very, very good chase from Caldwell. Just lacks a little bit of proximity here and there. Look at this, it makes a nice dive on the door, but those Trias tyres just hooking up, giving McKeever the grip he needs as he accelerates away. This is where Caldwell starts to make the dive again as they come into clipping point 4. He gets some of that lost ground back, transitions nice onto the door, and then starts to push McKeever into clipping point 6, but McKeever again squeezes the throttle and starts to pull away. Very good lead run there from Dwayne McKeever, but can Ryan Caldwell turn it around? Or will Dwayne McKeever stick it on the door. We know he absolutely glues that car to the door.
Yeah, look, he glued it to the door on the first time around, and I expect to see nothing shy of that performance this time around. But Caldwell has the opportunity here. Can he get the jump on Dwayne McKeever as they take it through for the final time? Caldwell, McKeever's right there though, right on the rear quarter, but Caldwell puts foot to floor and opens up a little bit of gap. But McKeever starts to reel him in as they...
Oh, wow!
Caldwell shuts it down.
And an issue from Caldwell. Caldwell falls off track.
It didn't appear to be contact.
But McKeever's car not sounding 100% there.
No, certainly not. McKeever's car not sounding right either.
So, an issue with Caldwell's car. I'd like to go back to the replay, the Samco Sport replay, and see exactly what happened.
McKeever's suffering clutch issues.
So look at this, what happens to Caldwell as they fire it in. Caldwell on a very nice high line. Like you say, McKeever with a little bit of separation. And not sure what happens to Caldwell, but he potentially shuts it down, falls off track. It looks like he goes to throw it in on big angle. Maybe he misshifts it, he just can't get that car down. So they're out of the car. Looks like a decision is in though. Eddie, who's going to take it through, McKeever or Caldwell? And judges' decisions comes in, and it is unanimous. Dwayne McKeever, ladies and gentlemen, gets the win. Dwayne McKeever gets the win. Ryan Caldwell. Naturally, Eddie, no need to go to the judges. 4 wheels off track. Such a shame for Ryan Caldwell.
Yeah, but obviously concerning moments here for Dwayne McKeever as that car just didn't look right as he finished the latter stages of the circuit. And hopefully, whatever that is, it's not too serious. We move it on to a very
interesting battle
and mouth-watering battle between Matthew Denham and Matt Stevenson.
Yeah, Matt Stevenson.
2 gentlemen of UK drifting.
Both these guys like to drive 110% as well. Love to throw in big angle initiation. So how this one is going to play out, I don't know.
Matt Denham looking like he's having a little bit of fun behind the wheel of that Jab Speed Maxxis Tire RX8.
So these guys pumped up, ready to go. Judges ready to go. We're just waiting to get Matt Stevenson's door closed.
Yeah,
door
Matt
closed.
Stevenson in that
Gives
Slide
them the
Motorsport Tri-Ace Tires DKM E92 BMW. They are off the line. Denham, the higher qualifier, to lead them in. Stevenson to give chase. Big weight transfer entry from Denham, but Stevenson right there with him.
Yeah, they fire it in, but look at this. Matt Denham's car absolutely flying as he squeezes the accelerator.
Denham's so quick here, Ian.
Yeah, starts to drive away. Just doesn't look like Stevenson's got the pace. Going to try and gain it back. Big angle transition from Stevenson. He starts to push on the door of the RX-8, but can't make the dive. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. So bring it across the line. Yeah. Brilliant driving there from both these guys. Nice initiation from Denham. Gets nice and high on the bank. Look at the smoke. That car just gets up and goes straight away from initiation.
Yeah, Denham looking very confident out there, and you know what? Maybe not this year, but this is a guy that's definitely going to be contending for championships in the very near future.
So we get them guys back to the line. This time we will see Matt Stevenson lead, and
thumbs up from the drivers.
Matt Denham to give chase. Matt Denham, we've seen him put down some killer chase runs before. Eddie, can he stick it to the door of Matt Stevenson's E92?
Yeah, well, it certainly looked as though he had the pace for Matt Stevenson in that first run as they leave the line, slamming through the gears, and whoa, big entry there from Matt Stevenson, and struggles to hold it.
Matt Stevenson on big angle though, Eddie, as they come through the bank, and look at this.
Oh, fire from the rear tires of Matt Denham.
Matt Denham makes another big dive, trying to push it on the door. Very scrappy from Matt Denham. Doesn't look like he can hang on to the angle thrown by Matt Stevenson.
Denham quite literally lighting up those Maxxis tires as we go
Very
to a
strange.
replay.
Look at this big angle initiation from Matt Stevenson. Fires it in. Look at the angle Stevenson's got on the bank. Denham has to back out of it. Look at the angle again that he throws on clipping point 3. Doesn't have to use the handbrake at all. Jumps back on the accelerator and starts to drive away. Denham starts to apply the pressure, but just looks like he's worried that Stevenson's going to throw on big angle again, so gives him some room to maneuver. Not sure which way the judge is going to call that one, but decision is in. Who's going to take it through to the Great 8? Will it be Stevenson? Will it be Denham? And Kieran, David and Ben is unanimous, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Denham gets the win. Matt Denham gets the win and advances through to the Great 8. Judges, we come to you.
Yeah, so, I'm sorry, I was miles with it. Matt Denham had a really, really good, solid lead run. Matt Stevenson didn't have much proximity on until towards the end. Really didn't bring the fight to him. Also, what penalised it in Matt Stevenson's lead run is too much angle on the initiation, which left Matt Denham having to try and catch back up to that. He did enough. Matt went wide on towards clip 4. It was close, but we gave it 6-4 towards Matthew Denham.
So there we go. Matt Denham taking the win and advancing through into the Great 8. And one more battle left of our top 16. And a battle of giants it is. Aramis Fiscalis to take on Simon Perry. So as you can see, Simon Perry are warming up the tyres on that RJB Civil Engineering R35. And Aramis Fiscalis in that Liftcraft E30 BMW 4.4 litre V8 turbo, just sitting there, cool, calm and collected, waiting to go.
Two absolute smoke machines.
Yeah,
out on
two
track.
absolute giants. And this is going to be a very, very hard-fought battle. Both these guys hungry for a win. Simon Perry, engine failure at round 1, gets that car back together, ready for action. Aramis Fiscalis still hunting down that podium at BDC. Who's going to take it? Fiscalis leads in Simon Perry.
Yeah, Fiscalis qualifying in that second position. And problems for Fiscalis as he drops a couple of wheels in a big straighten now as Perry just tucks in behind him, feathers the throttle and keeps it pinned to the door. But Fiscalis is all out of shape here.
Yeah, Fiscalis not looking 100% right now as he fires that car through the final turn. And Fiscalis takes it across the line. Perry looking calm behind though, giving Fiscalis all the room he needed to make those mistakes.
Yeah, Perry doing a very sensible thing, not getting involved, but you can just see this is where it starts for Fiscalis, drops a couple of wheels, gets it back on angles, then straightens. And from there, a big advantage you have to feel to Simon Perry. And Perry just keeps it at a nice proximity, doesn't really get involved. I think he's saying to himself, you know what, take it easy, Si, you've done enough here, you just kept yourself in it. But we're very unfortunate for Fiscalis because it's probably the first chink in the armour that we've seen here from him this weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Fiscalis, qualifying his second place as well. So no Fiscalis on the line. Is he calling a 5-minute rule, Eddie? We are waiting to find out from our track officials.
Yeah, of course. Where they drop wheels there can be quite treacherous for the cars, and a bit of a drop there can cause damage to those suspension components and losing some body panels as well. He probably just wants to take a quick look over that car, but I'd imagine if he doesn't make it to the start line, it will be an automatic 5-minute rule called as we just await to hear from the marshals confirmation if he's gone back into the pits.
So we're going to get Simon Perry just backed up off the line ever so slightly.
Oh, there he is. Pops into view on our screen.
Fiscalis is all ready to go, so it will be now Simon Perry to lead out Aramis Fiscalis.
So of course these drivers are allowed the opportunity just to have a quick look over the car. They can't make any changes to it, but they can look over it to see that everything is in working order.
Exactly.
Without calling a 5-minute rule.
Yeah, he dropped some wheels. We're going to give him that quick opportunity to have a quick look just to make sure nothing wrong. It looks like they are ready to go. Eddie off the line. Simon Perry to lead out Aramis Fiscalis. Big flick there from Perry as he comes through the chicane. And look at Fiscalis looking to make a dive on the door already, but Perry squeezes the accelerator and starts to drive away from Fiscalis. Fiscalis now looking again at that big angle from Fiscalis. He starts to get himself offline though, Eddie. Not looking good for Fiscalis right now.
No, certainly not, but Perry offline a little bit as well, almost dropping wheels. Dials on big angle, but Fiscalis just very all over the place in that chase position. Dabbing the front brake just to avoid contact, but as they cross the line, you got to feel as though Perry's done enough over the 2 runs in.
Yeah, for me, listen, too many mistakes from Aramis Fiscalis, dropping wheels in the first half of the battle. Chase run not looking good from Fiscalis. You see him very wobbly as he comes through the bank here at Teesside Autodrome. And then as they start to gain proximity with each other, you can just see Fiscalis making weird dives, shortcutting the circuit. Not good, not looking good, not nice fluid drive. So Vasquez not looking in a good position right now, our second place qualifier. So decision is in from our judges. Who's going to take it through to the Grade 8? Kieran, David and Ben is unanimous. Simon Perry gets the win, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Perry gets the win and goes through. We're just going to have a quick word with our judges on that one.
Yeah, thanks guys. Look, it comes back to the first run. Vasquez just very messy. Initiates, he straightens twice, and each time he's straightening, it's because he's dropping a wheel off the edge of the circuit. Perry uses his experience, stays back, knows Vasquez is not on the right line, and we were just commenting that he was lucky because it didn't look like he had the pace for Vasquez really. So a big advantage, 7-3 on the first run. Perry second run around, Vasquez would have to do something sensational to balance that off and take it to one more time or win. Perry's a little slow on entry, but it's not anything heinous. It's just he is just slow on entry. I think it's a lot of weight to slow down that car. So no, nothing illegal. Vasquez is very messy in the chase. He's on off throttle. He's straightening up. He's cutting the track. Not enough for us to overturn the first run, and Perry gets the win.
So there you go. Simon Perry taking the win and advancing through to the Grade 8, Eddie. So that makes up our Grade 8. We now break those down to the top 4.
Yes, we started with over 70 drivers here this weekend and only 8 remain. First battle up in the Grade 8, we'll see Martin Richards taking on Lee Barker. Similar horsepower, similar age, and similar chassis, but two very different styles of driving. Martin Richards representing Driftworks, Lee Barker representing Midnight Racing.
Yeah, Martin Richards are looking very, very strong, but you know what, for me, Lee Barker, very, very hungry for a win, hungry for a podium. They're off the line, Richards to lead in Lee Barker. Can Barker take down our first place qualifier? He's already took down our 2017 champion, and look at Barker making a dive already, but look at Richards, squeezes the accelerator and now starts to pull some distance between him and Lee Barker. As Richards fires that car into clipping point 4, Barker looking like he hasn't got the pace, Eddie.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting here, Ian, is that Barker, up until this point, had looked extremely fast when he came up against Matt Carter and Oliver Evans, but certainly doesn't have the pace to keep with Martin Richards, who looks extremely fast out there on track.
Yeah, very fast indeed, as you can see here as they come through clipping point 2. Martin Richards squeezes the accelerator and just drives away from Lee Barker. Unfortunately, Lee Barker not having an answer, just not having the grip in that car to try and get back on the door, and makes a dive here as they come through clipping point 6, starts to get wheel to wheel with him, but can't match it again as Richards drives away. So we're going to swap them around now. If Richards has got the pace, Eddie, is he going to stick it to the door?
You can be guaranteed that he's going to stick it to the door. I mean, that's the whole point.
We'd be disappointed if he didn't.
I think so.
I'd be disappointed in him. Tess would be disappointed in him. His whole team would be disappointed in him.
That's a lot of disappointment.
That's a lot of disappointment on his shoulders.
Do you know what? I think the fans here and the ones watching at home would be disappointed. We are ready to go.
They don't like you anyway, Eddie.
They don't like me.
You can't overturn it anyway.
Nobody likes me though, so I'm used to that. That's no problem. I can deal with that. Barker to lead them in. Richards off the line in the chase position, side by side. Richards tucks in. Here we go. Big entry from Barker, but doesn't get onto that white line. But look at this, glued to the door is Martin Richards as he turns the screw and tries to force an error from Lee Barker as they switch it back for the final time. And through the final clipping zone, side by side, Teesside, show your appreciation. Martin Richards, Lee Barker. And as the judges take it to the Samco Sport side-by-side replay.
Yeah, Lee Barker, look at that. Like you said, Eddie, very low on the bank. Manages to get back up there, but it's the second half of the bank that he manages to get up there. So Martin Richards, very, very clever. Gives him some room and then starts to make the dive as they come into clipping point 3. Gets that proximity and pushes Barker all the way around those 2 final hairpins and across the line.
So the drivers are out of the cars having a little bit of a word with each other. They'll obviously have their own opinions on which one of them they think took the win. Who's going to go through though? Judges' scores are in. Barker left, Martin Richards right. Kieran goes Richards, David goes Richards, Ben goes Richards. It's unanimous. Martin Richards going through to the final 4. Round of applause though for Lee Barker. A valiant effort for him, taking down some big names on his way to the Grade 8. But a step too far, unfortunately. Martin Richards looking pumped. We got to go back to the judges though to talk us through their decision.
Yeah, that's right, Eddie. So Martin Richards there put in a perfect lead run. There wasn't too much proximity from Lee. We couldn't give an advantage, and it was at a 5-5. But then switching it around, the proximity from Martin Richards there just put a textbook chase run in. It was pretty much on point, and we gave him the 7-3 advantage. So obviously it went to Martin Richards.
So Martin Richards advances through to the final 4. Can he get a step on the podium again and do it again like he did at round 1? A few more people to get through yet, Eddie. Jason Clark and Paul Smith go head-to-head now. 500 horsepower RX-7, 650 horsepower JZ powered GT86. This is going to be a good battle. These guys are going very, very hard today.
Yeah, look, I mean, Jason Clark overcoming Adam Simmons in his previous battle, but what stands out for me is the battle that Paul Smith had with Richard Grindrod, where he just absolutely stuck it to the door the whole way around, and he has looked very, very confident going into this one. Can he take down who I picked to be the dark horse yet again? Big weight transfer and flick entry here from Jason Clark, but look at this. Paul Smith bringing the proximity, loses a little bit of ground though, as Jason Clark becomes very quick on that high line of the banking.
Yeah, oh, wow! Jason Clark dropping wheels, picks up the clipping point and opens the door for Paul Smith to start to get nice and personal as they come round clipping point 6 and across the line. Now, ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause.
Big error there from Jason Clark, and as you say, Ian opens the door and Paul Smith walks right through it and says thank you very much.
But look at this, it looks like Paul Smith was outpaced through the first turn, and Jason Clark stood on the accelerator and started to drive away from the jab speed driver. But look at that, carried too much speed into that turn, picks up that cone, and yeah, like you say, opens the door and Paul Smith comes walking in and brings himself back in the fight. So an error for Jason Clark there. As Paul Smith pulls back up to the line, Jason Clark just going to have that cone removed from his rear bumper.
His rear bumper.
As Jason Clark just looks over at Paul Smokey Smith, giving him the look.
Yeah, and you know, it'd be interesting when we get to see the replays side by side. I'm just wondering, from clip 1 to 3, was Jason Clark ever so shallow? Did he miss that second outer zone? Is that why he shot forward and gained a little bit of advantage on Smith? Here we go, second half of the battle. Smith to lead them in, Jason Clark getting the jump off the line in.
Yeah, Jason Clark getting the jump off the line. He's going to tuck in nice and behind that GT86 of Paul Smokey Smith. Tries to get on the door, but yeah, look at this now. Smokey Smith way down the bank though, Eddie. Gets back up on it.
Yeah,
a waiver from both guys.
A little bit of a straighten from both drivers there. Both of them offline, it appeared. And this one could be a tight one. Clark getting that proximity through the final sections. Smith getting it wide to that outer line, and as they cross the line, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. Paul Smokey Smith and Jason Clark. Not perfect runs from either driver, as we see the side-by-side replay. Neither driver getting to that second outer zone.
Yeah, they were both on that. Yeah, like you say, Eddie, that second outer clipping point at the top of the bank. Both those guys are not all the way fully up on the bank, so that's why they was gaining that advantage into clipping point 3. But as soon as they get into clipping point 3 and clipping point 4, the door was open. They both then gained that proximity back. So, not sure how the judges are going to score that one.
Yeah, certainly this one will be one of those ones where they're splitting hairs over, you know, who made the fewest mistakes. Guys, take it out of their car, hit them with a wall of sound. Paul Smith and Jason Clark. You can tell with the smiles on their faces, they certainly enjoyed that one. And it looked as though, did Paul Smith point at Jason Clark saying, you know what, I think you got that one?
Yeah.
Jason Clark goes, no, mate, you got it.
Both guys knowing that they made mistakes, so this could go either way right now. So look at that. Give them a round of applause, those Teesside. Those guys putting their cars on the line. And judges are really going at this one. Where's my Paul Smith fans at? Where's my Slide Motorsport fans at? There's a few. Who wants to see these guys go one more time?
There we go, a few
Crowd
one more time
want to see
fans
one more
out
time.
there.
I'd like to see him go one more time. Very exciting battle from both these guys, but what do our judges want to see? These guys...
And you know what? The crowd are proving me wrong. They are capable of making a little bit of noise. This is great.
You're not making any more friends, Eddie. You're not making this easier for yourself.
I'm praising you.
Try to get in there with the fans. You know, go and do a little fan walk around the... Hi guys, I'm Eddie.
No, I don't need the same recognition that Nathan needs.
Oh, wow.
So judges...
Yep, still going over it, Eddie, still deliberating.
Yeah, Kieran Hines explaining his side. Dave Egan voices his opinion, and Ben Manuel listens and learns.
Yeah, Ben Manuel taking some lessons. So it looks like a decision has come in. Who's going to take it to the final four? Will it be Smokey Smith? No, a decision isn't it? Judges wanted to see a replay, so judges point looking like they found something in the replay, Eddie, that we didn't see.
Yeah, it looked as though they had made a decision there, but obviously they wanted to see the replay of Paul Smith's lead run.
Yep. I mean,
Did you spot something?
Yeah, I mean, there was a slight straightening from Jason Clark as they come from clipping point 2 to 3. Jason Clark made a small error, and I'm pretty sure that's what the judges wanted to see. Did he straighten, did he not? That could be the definitive point of who goes through.
You know, it did look as if both drivers straightened a little bit, but maybe Jason's straighten was a little bit more obvious.
Who is going to take it, Eddie? Kieran Hines has got his head in his hands. He doesn't even know. Drivers making it really difficult this weekend. So here we go. Decision is coming in. Who's going to take it to the top four? Who is going to battle Martin Richards for a place in the final? Will it be Paul Smokey Smith or will it be Jason Clark? Here we go. Left for Smith, right for Clark. Kieran Hines. Ben says Jason Clark. Dave Egan says one more time. Kieran Hines says one more time. They're going one more time, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go one more time. We're going to come to you, judges.
Okay, so it's a tricky one. There's some mistakes on both sides. Smith has good proximity in the first run. Jason has dropped some wheels washes off the track wide. Wobbles a couple of times around the course. Probably the first time you've seen him unsteady all day. At that, we had a slight advantage to Paul Smith. Nothing spectacular, to be honest, but he was in the fight. It was good, a small advantage. On the second run, Smith sort of stays in the middle of the bank. He's very low. Not really giving Jason a chance to get into the fight, but then Jason, for the rest of the run, doesn't really even try and make up that proximity. You know, Smith has a bit of a straight. Clark is good, but he's not great, so it's sort of a 6-4 to Clark on his chase run. Balance all that off and you've got an even split.
So there you go. Both guys are looking... Oh, sorry, Kieran, sorry.
Yeah, no, just to come to Ben's defence. The big debate we were having was to do with the separation on the run where when Paul was leading from 1 to 2. Paul's line was very, very low, and what we were debating was that the reason why there was actually a gap between them? If Paul's line had been out to the very edge of the track, would Jason have been given the opportunity to be on his door? As I said, it was a big debate. We couldn't be 100% sure. And you know, Ben's feeling was that he wasn't given the opportunity, and we were kind of split. So I think we eventually decided on one more time, but I can understand where Ben was coming from.
So there you go. A split decision, but ultimately a one more time from our guys. We're going to move it along to our next battle, which will be Dwayne McKeever to take on Ollie Elmore. Dwayne McKeever, like we say, Eddie, in the last half of that battle with Ron Caldwell, not looking 100%, possibly suffering from clutch issues. I'm just going to remind you now, this guy driving in that car in second gear only, so a lot of stress put on the clutch. Potential clutch problem coming up for Dwayne McKeever, I don't know, but it's slipping, I'm being told, so there you go.
Yeah, but you know, we've seen Dwayne in the past just manage to find a way to win. Can he do that here today, though? Obviously, if his clutch is slipping, it's going to be a very, very uphill task for him.
Yep, and the only way he can meet Martin Richards is in the final, but first he has to get into the final four. Dwayne McKeever fires it in, and look at Ollie Elmore though. Ollie Elmore not scared to bring the fight, loses some ground, drops a wheel, pulls the back bumper off that R33 Skyline now. Ollie Elmore needs to bring the fight in as Dwayne McKeever starts to walk away with this battle.
Yeah, it's falling apart a little bit here for Ollie Elmore as McKeever looks to escape unscathed, and no issue surfacing there on that run, of course, for him. But as we go to the Samco Sport replay, just see getting nice and high on that bank and getting just a little bit too high is Ollie Elmore, and dropping a wheel, losing a little bit of body work on the rear end, And from that point, struggling, taking shallow lines just to try and catch up with McKeever to gain that proximity. But certainly advantage McKeever. So we're hearing from our marshals that a 5-minute rule being called from Ollie Elmore. So obviously not happy with something, possibly suspension damage done to the rear end of that car after going off tracking.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, like we say, quite a big divot down there now where the guys are dropping wheels off, dragging all that mud out. So we're going to call the next battle forward. And that should be Matt Denham to take on Simon Perry.
Yeah, I think this one is going to be really, really interesting. I mean, you're looking at Simon Perry just after overturning Aramis Vasquez, and Perry looking very confident in that. But Matt Denham has looked so quick throughout the circuit. So these two drivers really performing today, and both will be desperate for that spot in the final four just to keep their. I mean, for Denham, it's a chance to keep it, to keep his championship hopes alive. For Perry, it's an opportunity to get back into the mix after such a unfortunate round one in Rockingham.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Simon Perry hasn't had the best start to the season, blowing that engine, but looking strong now as he, like you say, Eddie, tries to fight everybody in his way to get a spot on the podium and try and get back some sort of a championship this year. And like you say, Matt Denham looking strong this year, the car working very, very well. He's driving on point. Last season, Matt Denham suffering a lot of mechanical issues, causing him to bail out of competition early. This year, not the same, car looking strong. He's driving very, very well. So, Matt Denham, not an easy target for Simon Perry to meet in the Grade 8.
No clear winner in this one, until they obviously battle it out, but very hard to decipher between the two drivers. This one really could go either way. Malix gives the orders, make sure both drivers are ready. We are go. Denham, the higher qualifier, to lead them in. Perry, of course, having to battle his way into the top 16, then took down Aramis Vasquez. Now he's up against Denham. Denham throws it in, but Perry's right on the door, right with him.
What an entry from Denham, nice and wide on the bank, nice and high. Perry right with him though, door to door as they come down into the midpoint 3. Matt Denham staying with it though.
Big aggression here from Perry as he keeps in it. Denham opens the door. Perry jumps onto the rear quarter of that Mazda RX-8. Big run there from both drivers. Really impressive stuff, and that one's certainly hanging in the balance. See Denham just about keeping the car on track.
Yeah, unbelievable initiation from Denham. He absolutely knew the track limits there, fired that car in, got it settled, got back on the accelerator, but Perry was just right with him from the get-go, and it doesn't really lose any proximity whatsoever, stays within that 1 metre rule all the time. Look at this, nice and close with Denham as they come through clipping point 6, and then almost tags the back end as they come across the line. Nice run there from Simon Perry.
Simon Perry hasn't missed a round of the British Drift Championship in 10 years, a phenomenal record. And despite, a blown engine at round 1, has that car back on the grid here for round 2, and he is ready to go. Simon Perry's going to lead him in this time around. Denham to give chase. Off the line they go. Through the chicane goes Simon Perry.
Yep, Simon Perry fires it in. Matt Denham right with him though, Eddie. Look at this. Matt Denham low on the bank though. This is not a good look for Matt Denham. He needs to try and get nice and close if he's going to be that low on the bank. They come through clipping point 3. Simon Perry. Oh!
Denham over-rotates and gets caught a little bit.
Yeah,
and you know what? Looks like Perry could be seeing himself into a final 4 here.
Wow.
Oh, did Perry straighten over the line? Was that a massive straighten from Perry over the line?
I'm going to have to see a replay of that,
Could
Eddie.
that car have shut down on Simon Perry over the line? It looks like it did, and Matt Denham had to back out to avoid making contact in.
Wow, so a huge error from Matt Denham. Look at this. Doesn't really straighten Matt Denham, but he does make a huge error. But here we go. Simon Perry, as you can see, bottom screen. Does he straighten going across the line? Yeah, he does, massively. Simon Perry straightens across the line. So is that an incomplete run for Simon Perry? Is that a 10-0 advantage to Matt Denham? It looks like the judges have got a decision, Eddie. And Simon Perry's face says it all to me. The decision's in. Who's going to take it? Simon Perry, Matt Denham. Left for Perry, right for Denham. Who's going to take it home? Kieran Hines, David, and Ben. Unanimous. Simon Perry takes the win. Simon Perry takes the win and advances through to the top 4. We're going to go to our judges on that one. Me and Eddie getting it completely wrong.
In the first round there, Matthew had a really good lead line, perfect actually, really good high scoring lead run. Simon though has very, very good proximity the whole way through. He's on his door, good fluidity, the whole lot, it's just really good. But due to Matthew's good lead line, Simon only comes away with a 6-4, almost a 7-3. We call it a strong 6-4, we'll say. In the second run there, Matthew doesn't really have proximity through 1 to 3. At 3 he over-rotates, coming towards 4, makes a big error there. And then after he transitions coming out towards 6, he actually hits Simon's wheel and impedes Simon to a point. So Simon actually shuts down before the line, but I think he was doing that on safety grounds. He felt that, he was afraid, I think, that Matthew was actually going to catch his wheel there. So I think that was okay. So a strong A2 to Simon on the second one. So over board runs Simon for us.
So there you go, Simon Perry taking the win and advancing through to that final 4. We're going to revisit the Paul Smith and Jason Clark one more time. One of these guys has got to take it through to the top 4. Who's it going to be? Both guys making mistakes, Eddie, in the first battle. Not the cleanest of runs, but Jason Clark, for you, the guy looking strong.
Yeah, look, I've been really impressed with Jason Clark, but you know what, as the event has gone on, Paul Smith has just looked phenomenal. So, I mean, this one is really a case of who can put in the bigger performance on this one more time battle. Both drivers have just driven out of their skin today, and both worthy of a place in the final 4. Only one of them can go through. Look at this incredible lead run from Clark once again, but he just can't shake Paul Smith, who has looked phenomenal in the chase position all day today. And this, another spectacle. Judges, round of applause. Guys, if you're not impressed by that, you're in the wrong venue. Make some noise for Paul Smith and Jason Clark. Wow, really impressive stuff, and I know our audience enjoying that one.
Yeah, unbelievable. Like you say, Eddie, nice lead line from Jason Clark. Just shallow off a clipping point too, but realistically, just a nitpicking here as Paul Smith puts down an absolute masterclass. Sticks that car to the door, doesn't give Jason Clark any room, and you can see, look, door to door as they come across the finish line. Perfect chase run.
Yeah, look, complete trust between these two guys. You can't have a phenomenal chase run like that without, an inch perfect lead run. And these two guys have just been at it all day and so impressive. I mean, worthy of a final.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly that, Eddie. It's like a final battle right there. So we are ready to go. We've swapped them around. Paul Smith will lead, Jason Clark now to give chase. And we get the thumbs up from our drivers. Those guys ready to go. Here we go for a spot in the top 4. Who's going to take it? Smith to lead in Clark.
Down
here we go.
The stretch they come, slamming through the gears.
As he fires it in, Smokey Smith absolutely fires away. Jason Clark doing everything he can to try and keep up. Looks like he's going to go wide. Clark just drops wheels. Smokey Smith looking very tidy though as he transitions into clipping point 4. Jason Clark doesn't seem to have an answer right now, Eddie.
No, he's scrambling to get back into this one. I mean, it would be not an inch perfect line from Paul Smith, but certainly a very strong lead run. But Jason Clark gets lost a little bit and then has to scramble to get back into it as we throw up the side-by-side replay, Samco Sport replay of these two runs.
Yeah, Smokey Smith's proximity is absolutely flawless. And Jason Clark just looks like he hasn't got the fight in him to get inside that Pro Top 4. Judges have made a decision. It's dropped him. Who's it going to be? Slider left for Smith, right for Clark. Kieran Hines says Smith. David Egan says Smith. Ben says Smith. It's unanimous. Paul Smokey Smith gets the win. We go to our judges.
Right, so back to that battle. We had Jason Clark as having a perfect lead run, but we had Paul Smith as an amazing chase run. The proximity was fantastic, and we gave that as one of the best dual battles of the day, giving the advantage to 7-3 to Paul Smith. Unfortunately, on initiation on the lead run, Jason Clark was nowhere to be seen. There wasn't enough proximity between them, so obviously the advantage went to Paul Smith, and he was the winner.
So there we go. One more battle left in our Grade 8, Eddie, and it's a one more time. Again, we go to Dwayne McKeever and Ollie Elmore to finish off this Grade 8 before we move to our top 4.
Yeah, Ollie Elmore obviously making it back and beating the 5-minute clock as Dwayne McKeever looks cool, calm and collected on the line.
And I must apologise, it wasn't a one more time, it was a 5-minute rule from Ollie Elmore. So just a 5-minute rule. So this is the second half of the battle.
That's right. The second half of the battle, and we are almost ready to go. We're just waiting for martial orders. Ollie Elmore to lead in Dwayne McKeever. McKeever, none of those clutch issues, servicing on the first run. How will he fare in the chase position as Elmore in that GK Tech R33 Skyline?
Fires it in, Eddie, but look at Dwayne McKeever, just gives him a little bit of room. Elmore gets nice and high up on the bank, and McKeever's right with him as they come screaming door to door into clipping point 3. Nice line from Ollie Elmore so far. Oh, Dwayne McKeever straightens massively.
Yeah,
Dwayne McKeever
issues here for Dwayne McKeever.
Dwayne McKeever straightens.
Stays in it and brings the fight towards the end of the battle, but yeah, Dwayne McKeever, mechanical problems most likely there in as opposed to a driver error. Or was it just?
So we go side to side. Not sure what happened there for Dwayne McKeever. We go to our replay. As you can see, nice proximity with Ollie Elmore. Ollie Elmore got a very nice line as he comes into clipping point 4. But Dwayne McKeever shuts it down and completely stops drifting as they come into clipping point 3, then avoids clipping point 3, shortcuts the circuit. Clipping point 4, shortcuts the circuit to get back on the door, and then.
Yeah, but you got to look back to the first run where McKeever just had a huge advantage over Elmore. So this one really does hang in the balance, could go either way. Who thinks Dwayne McKeever's going through to the final 4? Who thinks Ollie Elmore's going through to the final 4? Who thinks they're going to go one more time?
Yeah, guys like to see it one more time. So judges want to see a replay of this. As so judges want to look over this again as Ollie Elmore fires that car in. Dwayne McKeever, big straight. And a little tag there from Dwayne McKeever on the back end of Ollie Elmore's Skyline. So, not sure. Judges want to see that one again on the replay. But it does look like they're putting down some scores, Eddie. So this one looks like it's official. Scores are in. Who's going to take it through to the final 4? Is it going to be Dwayne McKeever? Is it going to be Ollie Elmore? Kieran Hines says Dwayne McKeever. David Egan says Dwayne McKeever. Ben says Dwayne McKeever. Dwayne McKeever takes the win and advances through to the final 4. Unfortunately, Ollie Elmore couldn't put up a fight. We go to the judges on this one.
Yeah, so first run, obviously there was a little bit of time separation between both, but McKeever puts in a sensational run. Elmore has huge amounts of trouble. He's no proximity, he's cutting the track. We put down an 8-2 to Dwayne, very, very strong, dominant performance. Second run, Dwayne perfect again on proximity, essentially, until he has sort of a big hiccup coming into the first hairpin. Looking in real life versus looking on the replay, it looked a lot worse than it was on the replay than what we saw in real life. He actually didn't lose that much time and angle. Obviously, something went wrong with the car. But he had an advantage up to that point. He lost the advantage then, and he also lost the advantage for the rest of the run because of it. But it wasn't enough to overturn the dominant performance for the first run with Ollie having so many mistakes on the track. So in the end, McKeever pips it and takes it through to the final 4.
So there you go, McKeever making mistakes, losing points, Eddie, but not enough to overturn those faults that Ollie Elmore made in the first half.
Yeah, and the final 4 is set. Martin Richards going to be coming up against Paul Smokey Smith. Dwayne McKeever coming up against Simon Perry. Mouth-watering final 4, and not sure which way our podium's going to go.
Not sure which way our podium's going to go, but either way, we need to decide. So we head back to the start line where we should have Martin Richards awaiting to battle Paul Smith. So Martin Richards just going to make his way back to the line. Eddie, things heating up here, ready to take us to the final 4 now. And you know what, get a winner of this.
Yeah, look, it's been an incredible day of action, and you know, a really interesting weekend as a whole here at round 2 of the British Drift Championship. But you know, some standout drivers this weekend. Matt Denham's looked really good, and you know, he's gone out to Simon Perry, who had a slow start to the weekend, but quite often that could be the way. He's suffering mechanical problems, but he seems to have got rid of those issues, and now he's flying out on track. And when Simon Perry is on form, he can be very, very difficult to beat. Dwayne McKeever has struggled, but he's managed to get that car to the final 4. You know what, Paul Smith, though, for me, is just looked unstoppable. He's so good, so fast. He's coming up against an in-form Martin Richards, who's coming for that title. Let's not forget, he's the round 1 winner, second place at round 1, but the highest qualifier today, and looking to take home that victory here at round 2. That's going to be a very, very interesting battle. The McKeever and Perry battle, I mean, that's just, you just don't know what's going to happen with Dwayne's car. That one could go either way.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, McKeever's car could fail anytime. Can he make it through enough to the final? We're not sure, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to get these battles underway. So we're just waiting to get those guys back on the line. Don't forget, grab yourself some merchandise down the BDC stand before you make your way out today on your way home, and online, www.driftgames.life.
Yeah, always a good time to...
Handsomely modelled by Josh Holdsworth there.
Yeah, very handsome man.
He's a very handsome young man.
But always a good time to try and get yourself a bargain towards the end of the day. Maybe see your...
A discount? You get a discount, do you?
I don't know if you do. You've got to work your magic with Jess and Jordan down at the shop and see what you can do. See if you can get a 5 or 10% discount off the guys.
Yeah, don't forget, if you're on your way out, don't forget to stop down there at the BDC merchandise store. Grab, like Eddie says, grab some t-shirts. Those guys putting out some really cool Drift Game stuff this year.
You can check it all out on the website as well, the full range on driftgames.life.
And we are ready for a battle, Eddie.
Yeah, the first battle in our final 4. We are almost done for round 2. Martin Richards, Paul Smith, 2 heavyweights of UK drifting. Team Driftworks versus Team Japspeed.
Martin Richards absolutely pumped. You see him. Heard you at Nitrous, thumbs up to the camera. He's ready for action. Paul Smokey Smith, headlights on, thumbs up to Martin Richards. Those guys are ready for action. Good friends. And both guys willing to push 110%. As we get the start line, Marshall's thumbs up. They are off the line. We are ready to go for a final 4. Who's going to take a place in the final? Richards to lead out Smith. Here they come, Eddie, as they both fire it in.
Yeah,
Paul
Richards,
Smith.
big angle into that.
Yeah, Paul Smith absolutely tagging on the back end of Martin Richards' skyline. But here they come. Oh! Big error there for Martin Richards.
Yeah, Martin Richards carrying far too much pace and feeling the pressure from the Japspeed driver in that very, very quick GT86. And I'd love to see that one again, but it just looked to me like Martin Richards had it pinned and forgot to slow down here.
Yeah, not sure what happened. As you can see, they came down into clipping point 3 very, very fast. You even see Paul Smith throw on a load of angle to try and compensate for it. Look at this, Martin Richards drops a wheel. Yeah, completely gets it wrong. Absolutely gets it wrong. Martin Richards washes way offline. You see Smokey Smith dial on that big angle to try and slow that car down.
Yes, Paul Smith managing just to escape having a big crash there, because obviously those tyres placed perfectly to looks as though very minimal, if any, damage caused to Martin Richards' car. But of course, they just have a quick check over of that, and I think from what we can see, it looked as though just driver error there.
Yeah, it just looks like he carried miles too much speed into clipping point 3. Didn't want to slow down because he knew he was carrying an incredible amount of speed, but looks like he's almost thrown himself out of the battle for the final here.
Yeah, a little scuff on the front bumper, but other than that, the car looks to be working fine as he makes his way back to the line. Malsk just giving it the final once over.
Yep, so it does look like Melks is giving Martin Richards the all clear.
And Paul Smith opening his door. You can imagine he's just making sure that Martin Richards is okay.
Yep, those guys get the thumbs up now. We swap around. Smith to lead in Martin Richards. Martin Richards with all the work to do, Eddie, as they come off the line. Look at Richards' aggression. Almost overtaking Smokey Smith as they fire it in. Richards right with Paul Smith. Paul Smith a little straight in there as he comes into clipping point 2, but Martin Richards now door to door as they come down into clipping point 3.
Yeah, Richards applying the pressure, needs to force an error here to get back into this one. To try and force it one more time. Dives onto the door as they come around the final hairpin. Wheel to wheel. Bumper to bumper as they cross the line, and Martin Richards giving it everything. He deserves a round of applause from you guys. But you know what? I'm not sure enough to obviously overturn the big error that he had on the first run. They line it up. We need to make it official from the judges. Who's going through to the final? Will it be Richards? Will it be Smith? Slide him left for Smith, slide him right for Richards. Kieran says, Paul Smith. David says, Paul Smith. Ben Manuel says, all 3 judges in favour of Paul Smokey Smith. He's going to our final. Martin Richards will be back though for third and fourth place playoff. And you know what? Paul Smith looking unbeatable at the moment. But we go back to our judges. Judges talk us through pretty clear cut there. The first run, obviously, the difference between the two guys overall.
Yeah, Richards was in the tyre bale, so you can't win from there. So that's really why he lost.
And a very short, sharp explanation there from David Egan of how you don't win a drift belt.
That was David Egan's way of saying, why on earth are you asking my opinion here?
Eddie. So we have one contender in the final. Paul Smokey Smith goes to the final. Who's he going to be battling? Will it be Dwayne McKeever? Will it be Simon Perry? We need to find out. Both cars, 650 horsepower, a 22-year-old versus a 45-year-old. Who is going to take it down? Who can Simon Perry take down Dwayne McKeever's unstoppable reign right now, Eddie?
Yeah, well, look, I mean, if there's ever going to be a time to take down Dwayne McKeever, it's right now when he's suffering mechanical problems. He just hasn't looked as comfortable and as unbeatable as he has done thus far in 2018. However, Dwayne McKeever finds a way to win. The greats always do, and I don't know, Simon Perry has looked very strong here. If he can get it on the door of Dwayne and just pressurize him, you just don't know what's going to happen.
You don't know what's going to happen, and yeah, I mean, we've seen so much happen over this weekend. We just see Martin Richards, our first place qualifier, knock himself out and end up in the third and fourth place playoff. This could go either way right now as we see those guys warming their tyres. Dwayne McKeever pulls to the line. Dwayne McKeever will be leading out Simon Perry for a place in the final at stake.
So they are almost ready to go as the marshal gives them the once over. Oh, are we seeing problems here? Dwayne McKeever talking to Malks on the start line. Just giving him some information as we await to hear it. Okay, so Dwayne McKeever saying to the marshal that he has a clutch problem and that he's starting the car in second gear and just leaving it there for the entirety of the run. So those problems surfacing for Dwayne McKeever, and we will see what he can do. Can he drive around the problem as they leave the line? McKeever goes through the chicane. Simon Perry guns it straight down the straight.
As McKeever fires it in, Simon Perry right with him. Simon Perry now starts to lose ground as McKeever stands on the accelerator. This guy looking unstoppable right now. Simon Perry starts to make a dive. Can he claim back some lost ground? McKeever absolutely flying, Eddie.
Yeah, and Perry washing very wide. They're taking a very shallow line here and just didn't bring the fight. And this is what's important for McKeever. He needs to put in a big lead run and needs to ensure that he pulls the gap, because if there's going to be an error with that car, it's going to come in the chase position and he needs to have that advantage from the lead run. So job one done for Dwayne McKeever here as we look to the Samco Sport replay. You can see here Simon Perry washes wide here in, and then from this point on, just not able to bring the fight. Again, very shallow around that final hairpin.
Yeah, shortcuts the circuit there, Eddie, like you say, just to try and gain proximity, but big error there from Simon Perry. Now Simon Perry in that lead position, Dwayne McKeever in the strongest place he likes to be. He likes to be in chase position, he likes to get nice and personal with the door. Is he going to tag the door at R35? My money's on a yes. They're off the line and ready to go.
Yeah, look, Ian, we know he's going to go to the door, but the question is, can he stay there without any issues?
Here we go, Simon Perry fires in, Dwayne McKeever right with him, Eddie, look at this.
Yeah,
Dwayne McKeever on him.
side by side as they come around the bank. Incredible chase driving, but look at this for a lead line from Simon Perry. No issues thus far for Dwayne McKeever. Can he take it to the final against Paul Smith? It looks as though he can. Round of applause from the judges. Teesside makes some noise for Dwayne McKeever and Simon Perry. Really impressive stuff as we go side by side on the Samco replay.
Yeah, very, very impressive. Like you say, look at the proximity, Dwayne McKeever, as they come door to door, all the way around clipping points 3 and 4. Look at this, and Dwayne McKeever transitions through the smoke, gets back on the door again at that big R35, and then absolutely dominates Simon Perry across the finishing line. Flawless chase run there from Dwayne McKeever. Let's make it official. Who's taking it through to the final? A decision is in. Slide them left for Perry, right for McKeever. Kieran, David and Ben is unanimous. Dwayne McKeever, ladies and gentlemen, gets the win. Dwayne McKeever gets the win and goes through to the final. Simon Perry's day is not over yet, though. He now battles Martin Richards for the final step on the podium.
Yes, 2 battles remain, and obviously a Team Drift championship run for Team M&M, but we got to go back. Judges, a really hard-fought battle, and Dwayne McKeever taking the win overall and going through to the final against Paul Smith.
Yeah, Dwayne, in the lead run there, he had a really good line. Simon just didn't have proximity, and between 4 and 5 there, he kind of gets lost in smoke. He does a transition, is on the inside of the track. So after the first run, Dwayne has a really big advantage, almost an 8-2. On the second run, Dwayne has very, very good proximities. He's on Simon's door all the way to the end. So a strong 7-3 again on the second one. So overboard on Dwayne takes it.
So there you go, Dwayne taking the win and moving through to the final against Paul Smokey Smith. Eddie, almost ready for a final?
Almost ready for a final, but we have 2 jobs before our final. We have a 3rd and 4th place playoff, but we also have a victory lap here from Team M&M. Obviously, our other finalists not able to make it to the line, so it's just going to be a victory lap. So
team, who do we have in their team? Oh, Team Driftland, yes, of course, having that contact.
Having
That's
that crash,
unfortunately not making it better line. So yeah, our round 2 Team Drift competition
Winners.
won, hands down, by Team M&M.
Hard to believe a car that is as impeccable as Mike Marshall's is going out on track for Team Drift. So Max gives the orders. We are go. Victory lap here for Team M&M. Led out by Alistair Sutton, followed up by Darryl Jones, Dominic Gates in 3rd position, and Mike Marshall bringing it up the rear. And look at this. They all... Oh! And a big error there from Dominic Gates as he straightens but gets back on angle. And into formation perfectly for Team M&M. Guys, hit them with all the sound as they come over the finish line. Team M&M, your round 2 Team Drift winners.
So there we go, Team Drift done and dusted, Eddie. And those guys winning it hands down, unbeaten.
Undefeated. So it leaves us with our 3rd and 4th place playoff. Martin Richards taking on Simon Perry. I mean, these 2 guys have battled hard. At the start of the day, if you had told me that Martin Richards wouldn't be in the final, I'm not sure I'd have believed you. If you told me that Simon Perry would be gunning for a podium finish,
place,
I'm not sure I'd have believed you either, because he was having a lot of mechanical difficulties. But you know what? They've got that car working. Richards came up against Paul Smith, who has just looked phenomenal. He has a shot at top spot against McKeever. But you know what? These 2 guys, they're going to battle it out for the podium. One of them's going home without a trophy.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, you would never have said that Martin Richards would be in 3rd and 4th place, and you would never have said Simon Perry would have made the podium. Earlier on, his 2nd qualifying run, the only run that he managed to put down was the only complete clean lap that he'd done all day.
All day.
So the only lap that Simon Perry has had in that car was that qualifying lap, and look where it got him. It got him inside that top 24 and qualified in 11th position. Now he finds himself battling for a place on the podium. Can he get his foot on the podium? Can he upset the apple cart a little bit? Can he get himself in that fight for the championship, Eddie?
Yeah, look, you know, I think he can, and this is exactly what he needed. And you know, if he can... Obviously, look, he's not going to gain massive points on Martin Richards if he can beat him, but he can certainly put a dent into it, get himself on the podium. It's a good start. It's exactly what he needs just to reignite his championship hunt. Of course, he will be hopeful that Martin Richards has a poor round or misses a round, just to, I suppose, keep those hopes alive. But it's only early stages, round 2. A lot can happen over the course of a season, and Simon Perry getting off to the start that he needs now at round 2.
Exactly. So we are just waiting to get some cars on the start line for that 3rd and 4th place playoff. Don't forget, you guys, I want to see more of this action. We will be at Driftland in a month's time. The Driftland Takeover. Tickets on sale now at shop.thebritishDriftChampionship.co.uk. You going to be there, Eddie? I'm sure you are, of course you are. I'm going to bring my new mate, Nathan, with me. That's who I'm going to bring with me.
Yeah, okay. That's fine with me.
Are you sure? Are you happy with that or not?
Yeah, look, one way or another, I'm not bothered.
You're not bothered because we're going to go to Poland next weekend together and he's not allowed to come.
You make it sound so romantic.
I'm excited, Eddie. I'm excited about our weekend away.
You know what I'm excited about? I'm excited about our 3rd and 4th place playoff. And I do want to know, are you guys in attendance? Are you excited for our 3rd and 4th place playoff? There we go. There we go. That's what we want to hear.
They're excited for some action, Eddie. They're excited for the action.
Let's call it. Who, do you think Martin Richards is going to win? Do you think Simon Perry's going to win?
I'm going to say the way Simon Perry's driving, I can see Simon Perry taking the win. Only because the mistake that Martin Richards made was maybe a one-off, but it was a very, just dramatic accident. Falling off track, carrying that sort of speed.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's a very uncharacteristic error, but, have we got any Martin Richards fans in the audience? Any Simon Perry fans?
Right, Eddie, we're ready to go.
We are ready to go. Martin Richards to lead in Simon Perry. Evenly matched in the horsepower stakes. I'm sure they'd both prefer if I didn't mention their ages. So, as you can see, Martin Richards warming the tyres, getting himself set and ready to the start line.
Yeah, Martin Richards sits on the line and waiting to go. Knowing that he made that mistake against Paul Smith, he's not going to want to do it again. Can he overcome that problem? Can he stick it to the door of Simon Perry's R35 and GTR and take the win and take the third step on the podium that he much needs?
It's Team Demolition versus Team Driftworks. Who is going to the final step of the podium? Here we go. Richards through the chicane. Perry to give chase.
Big clutch kick initiation from Martin Richards as Simon Perry throws that car in now, starts to gain some ground. Oh, wow! Perry
goes off track and narrowly avoids going into the tyres up on that bank.
Big error from Simon Perry. Huge problem there for Simon Perry.
Yeah, and Simon Perry not needing recovery, but certainly handing a 10-0 advantage from what we could see. I mean, it didn't look as if Martin Richards did anything to cause Perry to go offline. It just looked as that he got too deep into it and drops the wheel.
Simon Perry broke a tyre bead on initiation. Simon Perry's tyre was off of the bead on initiation. So Perry was destined to go in, and that's why that car over-rotated so much. So lucky Simon Perry never ended up in there. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes past you. This guy has had the worst start of the season that anybody could hope for. And look at that, Eddie, no tyre on that car, it's all the way in.
Yeah, well spotted in the smoke, Ian.
Yeah, did you see it on the replay? You could just see that there's no tyre on that rim. So we are obviously going to give Simon Perry the opportunity to change that wheel, and what a shame. As Simon Perry comes past us, hitting his head on his hands. Listen, he knew he had Martin Richards. He knew he had to go hard, so he dropped the tyre pressures very low. And listen, he risked it all to try and get the win. It didn't work, it didn't pay off.
Yeah, and of course he would have been watching throughout the day and seeing just how fast Martin Richards is. And Martin in his chase, or in the lead position, has left so many drivers for dead. Yeah. So doing what he needed to do, and unfortunately just hasn't worked out for Perry on this occasion. But you know what? I mean, it's never over until it's over, but it looks as though it will be fourth position at round 2 for Simon Perry. And you know what? If you had offered that to him at the start of the day, I think he would have snapped your hand off.
Exactly. So as we await Simon Perry to go change that wheel, not only, Eddie, do we have tickets for Driftland Takeover, we've also got tickets for a brand new circuit for the BDC. We are going to go to Three Sisters in Leeds. Brand new circuit. I've been there with Drift Cup. Very, very interesting place. Very tight and technical. Going to be a complete new layout for these guys. So these guys, something new to the calendar. And then obviously the final, Eddie.
Back in Rockingham.
Back in Rockingham, but not even that. England versus Ireland. And again, rumours are, Michael Leeson's, give me the look. Give me the look. Rumours are, we are going to have the best of the best from Ireland and the best of the best from England. Rumours are James Dean. Some of the rest of the guys coming over, Paul McCarthy, them boys.
Dean, fresh off top spot in Formula Drift.
Yep, Bagsy coming to bring the fight at BDC final.
Beaten James Dean in the past.
And Bagsy has beaten James Dean in the past. So don't miss out. Tickets on sale now at shop.thebritishDriftChampionship.co.uk.
Yeah, we want to say a quick word to our sponsors, of course, as well. Link ECU, Samco Sport, Brian James Trailers, Cosmos Racing Wheels, Simpson, Zestino Tires UK, Monster Energy, Jap Speed, M-Tech Brakes, Funk Motorsport, JDM Distro, AM Details. I don't know if you've tried their products, Ian, but I'm a fanatic when it comes to cleaning my car. Their products are just unbelievable. VP Racing Fuels, all the guys pretty much on the grid running VP Racing Fuels in their car. I mean, look, these sponsors come on board, and without their help, we wouldn't be able to broadcast this all around the world. We wouldn't be able to put on the impressive shows that we do, that we put in front. I mean, it just takes weeks of hard work to plan all this, and then the guys come down early in the week to set up these events, and so much work goes on in the background, and without the help of our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to employ these guys. This started out with just, Dave Egan on his own, and now he has a team of 5 or 6 people in the office with him, working, 7 days a week tirelessly. I often meet them down in Mondello Park to do the podcast, and they're there till 12 o'clock at night. They just put everything they have into keeping this show on the road, and all for, without the help of the sponsors, none of it would be possible. And of course, we got to say a big thank you to all of you, the most important people at any event, are the people that come here and pay to come to the event, pay that money on the door and support the event and buy, the merchandise, give back to the series. That's exactly what we want, and you guys have been fantastic all day today. Great to see so many people get involved and just come here and enjoy the spectacle that is drifting.
So there we go, we do have Simon Perry back on the line, ready to battle Martin Richards. I'm just getting called out about my geography, Eddie. Apparently, Three Sisters is nowhere near Leeds.
Where is it near? Because I'm, not from the UK.
Ben Manuel will know.
Ben Manuel will know. You said
But
you've been there. Here we go.
On the
line, Perry to lead in Martin Richards. Richards right on the door as they send it around the bank for the final time, unless it's to go one more time. Can Perry force an error from the lead position? Big angle dialed on by Perry, but Richards tucks in and goes wheel to wheel. You can see him just balancing that car on the front brake. And a big chase run, but I think that one's pretty obvious.
Yeah, a very, very good chase run there from Martin Richards. Like you say, Eddie, Simon Perry fires that car in, gets it nice and high in the bank. Martin Richards is door to door with him all the way around. Doesn't lose proximity at all. Very nice line from Simon Perry as they come into the first hairpin. A little straight and ever so slightly from Richards, but you know what? He's on sitting with that 10-0 advantage. Sorry, as they come into the final clipping point, Martin Richards, rightly so, balancing that car on the foot brake, door to door with Perry. This can only go one way. We are going to announce the third or fourth place playoff decision. The decision is in from our judges. And taking the final step on the podium is Martin Richards, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a round of applause. Give Simon Perry a round of applause. What a battle, what a guy, as Martin Richards takes third step on the podium.
Yeah, no need to go back to the judges for that one. Richards goes to the podium. Perry takes fourth position. But you know what? There's only one thing remaining, and that is our final. And we want all you guys, for the final runs of the day, to get on your feet. Don't want to see one person sitting on the embankment all the way around. Come on, get up out of your seats. The last run of the day.
Come on, Teesside, get on your feet. England versus Ireland right now. Paul Smokey Smith, can he take down Dwayne McKeever, the unbeaten smoke machine from Northern Ireland? Eddie, who's your money on?
You know what, I just don't know. I do not know which way this is going to go. There's too many variables in it. All I'm hoping for is, a door-to-door aggressive battle. You know what? People aren't standing up, and we ain't sending this battle anywhere until you get up out of your seats and hit them with a wall of sound.
Teesside, are you ready for your final battle of the day? Come on, Teesside, get on your feet and make some noise. Teesside, make the loudest cheer you have ever done. Raise the roof of this place before we send these cars. In 3, 2, 1. Teesside, make some noise! I think they're ready, Eddie. Let's send them.
I think they're ready. The drivers are ready.
The doors are closed.
Are you ready?
The visors are down. I'm ready. Dwayne McKeever looks ready. It's Dwayne McKeever to lead in. Paul Smokey Smith, final battle of the day. Here they go, Eddie.
McKeever to lead them in through the chicane. Smith tucks in behind them. Here we go.
Whoa, big entry from McKeever. He fires it in, but look at Paul Smith. Not scared to try and stick it on the door to try his tyres 180.
Yeah, McKeever unbeaten. Can Smith be the one to do it as he dives onto the door?
Whoa, look at Smokey Smith. Smokey Smith comes through the smoke, pushing on the door of McKeever's car. Teesside.
And over the line, Teesside makes some noise for McKeever and Smith. Wow.
That was unbelievable. Look at the initiation from McKeever. Absolutely perfect setup. Gets it on that nice wide line. Look at Smokey Smith, though, not scared. Gives him a little bit of room and then starts to make the dive. Look at this from Paul Smokey Smith as he pushes Dwayne McKeever around that final Hairpin there. Look at this again. Gets on the door to door, all the way through clipping point 6. Unbelievable chase and lead from both those guys.
Yeah, look, the two guys that have really shone all day and showing exactly why they deserve to be in the final. We are about to send our final run of the day. Smith to lead them in, McKeever to give chase. He's made a name for himself in the chase position. Can he get on the door? Smokey Smith, Malx gives the orders. We are go. Paul Smith through the chicane. McKeever to follow. The final run of the day at round 2 of the British Chip Championship is
Oh, look at this from McKeever.
McKeever all over Paul Smith.
McKeever.
High on the bank.
McKeever pushing Paul Smith as they come down into clipping point 4. Look at this, perfect from Paul Smith. McKeever gets back on the door. Big transition from McKeever. Back on the door again as Paul Smokey Smith stands on the accelerator.
Final sections of the track. Guys, make some noise for your finalists. Paul Smith, Dwayne McKeever. We go to the Samco Sport replay. What a run in. What a day.
Unbelievable. Judges just looking around. They have a decision though, Eddie. The decision is in from our judges. And I mean, unbelievable. Both these guys pushing 110%. Paul Smokey Smith doing an absolutely sterling job in lead and chase, and the same with McKeever. It's been phenomenal.
I, for one, have had the best time here this weekend, Ian. It has been brilliant.
Give them a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. They're out of the car. They can hear you. Give them a round of applause. What a drive from both those guys. We're just going to quickly head to Dave Egan. Dave, do you have a decision?
We do indeed.
So there we go, Eddie. I'm going to head off down to the podium. From me, I will see you very, very soon. And I'm going to leave it down to you, Eddie.
Yes, thank you, Ian. And guys, we invite you all in attendance to come down and join us on the track for the podium ceremony. We do ask that you wait and just show these guys your appreciation. And we want to thank you all for joining us. Without your support, again, none of this would be possible. So give yourselves a big round of applause. We started this weekend with 70, 80 drivers. We've narrowed it down and we are about to announce our winner and our second place finisher. It was a phenomenal battle between Paul Smith, who has just driven unbelievably all day, and Dwayne McKeever, who despite mechanical issues has brought it to the final. We want to say a big thank you to all our sponsors here this weekend: Funk Motorsport, JDM Distro, AM Details, VP Racing Fuel, Link Engine Management, Samco Sport, Brian James Trailers, Cosmos Racing Wheels, Simpson, Zestino Tires UK, Monster Energy, Jap Speed, M-Tech Brakes, and of course all of you guys watching online, supporting the series, that are buying the merchandise, all of you guys in attendance. Without you, none of this would be possible. And with that, I will hand you over to Ian Waddington for our podium ceremony.
Oh no, you won't yet, pint size. I'm just gonna have a little word with you. I know Ian's on his way down. My compadre in commentating specification is on his way over, but I just wanted to steal the limelight one last time because I have an absolute laugh riot here, live in Teesside. What an absolute extravaganza of drifting mayhem we've hit here. Is it gonna be Dwayne McKeever? We're gonna find out. I'm just waiting for my co-host. Here he is, the man with the bronze beard of dreams. Listen, I know he's had a couple of issues up there, but you've done a sterling job. And there's 3 of us, 2 of us have done a good job. And as Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I'll hand you on over. Thank you very much, and I'll see you at round 3.
Thanks, Nathan. As always, doing an absolutely sterling job behind the lines. So, I mean, my voice is all going already. Ladies and gentlemen at Teesside, give these guys a round of applause. What an absolutely phenomenal day we've had. A huge thank you to everyone at Teesside, all our track staff, everyone behind the scenes. But I've just got one job to do, and that's to hand out some trophies. So, taking third step on the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to Driftworks' very own Martin Richards! And I don't know about you guys, but I could have watched these two battle all day and all night. Phenomenal driving, but only one person can take the win. Taking second step on the M-Tech Brakes podium is Paul Smokey Smith! That means, ladies and gentlemen, an unbeaten record so far in the UK and Ireland. Give it up for the Northern Smoke Machine, Dwayne McKeever! Ladies and gentlemen, from me and all the crew here at BDC, we will see you on the 14th and 15th of the next month at Driftland. Don't forget to get your tickets online. We will see you very, very soon. Goodbye.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
I've chosen to use VP Racing fuels since I was a teenager racing motocross, which was 21 years ago now.
I've been using VP Racing fuel for years, basically ever since I built my first race car, and you want to get that consistent fuel, it was VP through and through.
Absolutely,
right from the beginning.
that's the brand. Yeah, I've been using VP probably since I was 10 years old racing dirt bikes. There's so many different VP Racing fuels to choose from. One of the best go-tos is definitely C16.
So we use C16 in our Formula Drift cars.
I run C16 in all my cars outside of this one here. The 2 race cars here at the track, we run the C85.
And my supercharged Coyote-powered Mustang that's over in Europe, we use MS109.
And a Ferrari car, I actually run MS109.
VP has been making racing fuel for 43 years. They're the official fuel of multiple top series globally. No matter where we are in the world, no matter what fuel we need, it's always consistent, it's always perfect and exactly what we're expecting and our tuners expecting. They support myself, my Drift Alliance bros, and for that, I'm extremely thankful. Keep making amazing fuels, and we'll keep out there having fun.
There's a reason that half the paddock, if not more here, runs Samco hose, and that's that nobody wants to be let down by a split water hose or a split boost hose. And with Samco, there's nothing to worry about.
With using these hoses, we get the reliability, they never burst, we can just rely on them, and that's all we need.
Half of the grid are running Samco hoses in their cars, and there's a reason for that. They're the best in the business.
I'm so happy to be running Samco hoses now, because in the past we have run other manufacturers' hoses and we have had the intercooler pipes collapsing, which obviously when you're under massive pressure on track, you have to be fully supportive and reliant on your hoses.
So a lot of people ask us over the years, you know, what hoses you run. Personally, I can't think of anything better than Samco. They do what they say on the tin, they work, they don't come loose, they don't fail on you, they don't pop. You can't beat Samco.